Yeah. I was so full on the inside, man, that I wanted to share it, man, with these cats I was talking to, man. And I shared to what I could, man, and then it was just cool to just pump the brakes for me. And I was laughing at myself and shit. It's real funny. So this is all good to me, man. I try to put that shit to work on the Giddy up.
Right,
Yeah,
right. Hey,
yeah,
peace
yeah,
to
yeah.
peace to the family, peace to the family. Sankofa 180 degrees. We live. You know what I'm saying? This is another exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Family, we just I guess, the more and more we go live, I guess that's just the more information that we have for you. You know what I mean? So I just hope you guys can just, tune in, enjoy, join in if you want. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. You are welcome to join the stream, man. We go, it's like I said, man. I just want to remind you, family, that we are doing a book read Sunday, just coming up Sunday. Family, please bring your kids, bring the children, bring the grandkids, bring the nieces, nephews, bring them, man. You know what I'm saying? From 5 all the way on up to 15, 16, just bring them, man. Bring everybody. You get from 5 on up. It ain't even got, there's no age limit, man. 5 on up, man. It's a book read. We're gonna talk about the book. It's a children's book. They're African books about real people, real times, real events. Okay. What we do is we they're gonna read a book. Everybody's gonna listen to the book, participate in the talk, put your name in the chat. We're gonna draw a number. We're gonna draw your name. If you win, we're gonna mail your book straight to you, free. Don't cost you nothing, right? Just come on, just all you gotta do is participate, right? And this because I'm telling you, family, they're cutting out the history, the Black African history, man, out of the schools, man. And so it's up to us to push that, fam. That's all I'm saying to you. We gotta push it. I just can't stress to you how important it is for us not to lose that, for us to not lose that history, man. Because see, just like I said, just like we sitting around here, yeah, look at those books, But as I said, as we sitting around here, you know, uh, you know, we sit around here, hey, listen, man, all I'm gonna say is this. Help us push the African history, man. They're trying to say that slavery was beneficial to the slaves. Now, family, this is what they're teaching. It's up to us to push the truth. Okay. Now, I understand that you may not agree with everything we say, or even what we, what's behind me, or what I got on what I'm wearing. You might not agree with that, but you gotta better agree with. It's only fair that we teach our real history, man. You gotta better agree with that. I mean, if you don't, man, then I don't, hey, I mean, like, I guess, you know, I, I just don't want your kid to be left behind, man. All right, family. So come on, man, participate anyway. Hey, listen, man, we got an exclusive again. We got the brother Gerald. We got, of course, Unc right here, y'all. Uh, and we just talking, fam. So just come on in, man. Like I said, join the chat. That the link is in the chat. Uh, come on in, man. We here. All right. Feel free. All right. Go ahead, Unc.
Yeah, I also put the link for this in Comedic Life, and and a couple other platforms, and also in Sankofa. So people can join in anytime and stuff. So I got that up there. That's all I wanted to say, man.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Gerald, peace to you, King.
Peace.
What you think, man?
Um, just like you said, we just hit a bill. Try to start a movement using this in forum. Whereas the reality is, it's hard for brothers and sisters in local areas to get along. You know, you might not find but one or two, you know what I'm saying, and so many things going on. So in technology, you use this forum, but we ain't gotta, you know, we don't gotta physically be amongst each other. We just gotta have some time set aside, jump on this forum, and we can build. People can see it and people can participate and be a part of it, you know. And then what we do on this forum, we take back to our families, to our communities, and hopefully, you know, it catch a fire. Somebody else want to be a part of it, you know. And then it goes from these forums to something physically having buildings and physically teaching the children, you know what I'm saying, in classrooms. So it's just using this as a starting point. This is what we love to do. This is a tradition of us as an original people. We like to talk about education, scholarship, what's going on. Usually when somebody said, what's up, what's happening, that wasn't just no fake talk. They was really, hey, what's going on? What's happening? You know, we was really trying to communicate. Talk to me, brother, what's going on your end? What's going on where you at? We not just use it something leisurely, but we will really use that communicate. So as the point of now, what's going on, what's happening? They're trying to miseducate our children.
Yeah.
If that don't mean nothing to you, then, you know, we in trouble. If that right there don't catch your ears, that they're purposely miseducating our children. And they might have always done it, but they using their laws now. They telling us they ain't gonna teach this, or they telling us they gonna again miseducate. We're gonna tell you that after that our people benefited from slavery. Okay. So if the people supposed to benefit, why y'all didn't want it? Y'all didn't want to work. Y'all went way across the whole country to get a whole nother people to do the work that y'all didn't want to do, but it's supposed to be beneficial. Okay. Well, what was beneficial for the slave master? What was beneficial for the country? Because the country, the slave master, all them benefited. Don't tell me about the slaves benefited. Y'all had a war. Y'all had a civil war behind this here. You know, so you can't tell me that, you know, it was all for the benefit of for the benefit of Black people. It was for the benefit of white people who did not want to work, who did not want to raise their own crops, did not want to grow their own to say that this is mine. They went and used somebody else. That's why y'all gonna forever have a problem. Now when y'all try to say, go back home, go back to Africa, and go back and all this here kind of stuff, No. This land is much as our land as it is anybody's land. You know what I'm saying? Right. We worked this land, our parents sacrificed for this land, and slavery was no, you know, we were owned. You can't tell me when you own something. The whole concept of slavery, we ain't talking about indentured servitude. Indentured servitude, you might have that argument. But y'all owned us, you know, and it was free labor. If I had somebody right now that would work for me my whole life, I didn't have to go to work, they work for me and I got their money, I would be rich. Let them have children and let their children have children.
They are rich.
You can really get it popping going on, ain't? You know, and then these children because the person that first went into slavery know that they were captured, but the children don't know. Unless that parent passed that history on, and we got a history of our people they wanted to know who they were. If anybody watched the movie Roots, they was trying to make sure that they knew who, you know, we teach you, Chicken George, who your daddy is and who your daddy's daddy, and we proud and this, that, and the other. You understand? That's connecting to your roots. Yeah, that's the tradition. Know thyself. A book by Naeem Akbar, the first chapter. Chapter 1. deals with education. Education, a vehicle for transmission of self-knowledge. It's chapter 1, education, a vehicle for transmission of self-knowledge. Each generation, as you were saying, Jamie, so we ain't just putting it on us, but it was people before us who did this. We had teachers who had to teach us the right way. There was a point where we had race teachers. A race teacher was a black teacher who knew the bullshit, but they was gonna let you know the true shit. They were really invested in our knowledge. But again, each generation has the responsibility of maintaining the level of consciousness attained by the previous generations. So again, they saying that we are woke now. Our generation done some kind of became woke. And this is an attack on the system. So that's what they doing. They're finna try to take that level of consciousness that was attained by us and not let that be filtered down to our children. They don't want the children to be woke. They don't want the children to be questioning the indoctrination. They don't want the teachers to be challenged. This is something that previously happened in the 1990s, 1980s, late 80s, early 90s. And that was taken on by the scholars John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, Jacob Carruthers. You got the Tony Browders, you got the James Smalls, you got the whole band of them. But in the 80s, they found out about the Nile Valley civilization. Got Oswald Crazy also. When they found out about the Nile Valley civilization, they started taking people back. They even know, you won't even believe me, you need to go see for yourself. We need a lot of people to go back. Besides scholars, we need regular people to go back to be able to come back and start telling people what they saw and inspiring people to go. That's why I wear this shirt now. That's why the emblem is behind you, Jamie. That's why some of the things you got on that information had to be brought to us. We now wearing it proud and doing it. That was a 30-year period for that to come in. That makes sense? Yeah. It was an organization called ASCAC, African Classical Civilizations. And that's all they did was pump that out. The book that we got, the Contributions to Nile Civilizations by Anthony Browder. All of that come up out of that. There was so much research in them brothers. They was doing like we doing right now. They would come together and talk and build. Dr. Francis and them, and they would tell you everybody did what we doing. They're gonna draw amongst each other who own it, who dealing with it, what skills you got. Let's do something. So they were able to produce books. They were able to produce summits to teach people, and it constantly kept growing. Mm-hmm. So that what I'm saying about that education, each generation has the responsibility of maintaining the level of consciousness attained by the previous generation. We going to such a level that it's becoming a threat to their system. And now they starting to fight back. It's a chess game. We made some moves. Now it's time for them to make their move. What we can't do is start crying. Oh, that's what they're doing. No, they're going to make their move. What's our next move?
Right.
We're right here trying to figure it out right now. We talking amongst each other saying this what's happening. Boom, boom, boom. How we going to defend against this attack that we done moved into? We know that we the original people. We know we wasn't just slaves. See, even if you start with the history of slavery, that's some bullshit. That's what those scholars had to do, push it to Kemet. Like, no, we didn't start from slavery. You know, we started way before that. If you start my history in 1619, you know, what the fuck? It don't work like that. Yeah. So we had to go all the way back. You know what I'm saying?
Sankofa.
They're trying to shut that down. You know, So it's a game, and this thing's been going back and forth for the longest period once you study history. And you just figure out, this is where I'm at, and this is the part that I'm supposed to play during my time. The other scholars, they did that during their time. They stood up. We know about them. They put out works. But what are we going to do? There's a group called Sankofa 180 that we found out that on Sundays they were teaching the children. They were passing out books and they were reading with children. Nobody can take that away from Sankofa 180 because that was what's being done. That was the fight back against what was going on. Once you can sit back and look at it, and you never know what will grow out of it. That's what Sankofa 180 was doing. A couple of brothers had gotten together, you know what I'm saying, and started this here. I'm just catching on to it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's that. Be able to understand exactly what you're doing, you know, and frame it in that right way. That's gonna make you feel good about yourself. That's gonna give you where you need to go, what you need to do, what you need to protect, you know, how you need to build, but you're doing something. As I'm explaining, as y'all just was explaining, that ain't no joke that y'all do that on Sundays. It's real, and it's combating what these white people, what these racist people are doing, dealing with our education. But to sit back and just cry about it and not do nothing, or just to make a Facebook post without doing nothing, that's what a lot of us will just make posts. You got to really get into some action.
Right.
You got to really do something. You got to really get involved. And these posts, these forums that we're doing is to inspire others. Well, what's that brother name? That brother named Unc. What's that brother? That brother named Jamie. That's brother named Gerald. I see them. They represent their city. Shit, I can do that too. Let me represent. Let me get involved. Next thing you know, we got 10 brothers representing all over the country and figuring out what we can do. That 10 can turn into 100, but it starts from a seed, you know, and it grows. But, you know, that's just me kind of giving my evaluation as Jamie asked what's up. That's what I see, what we're doing at this process right now. Black Power, Black Love.
Hey, that's fire right there, man. So, you know, I got the picture of that book, and I just picked up the etymology book. It just was delivered today, so I'm on that. And then you talked about the race teacher, right? Race teacher.
Yeah, race teacher.
Okay, cool.
We had race people at one time. We had people when we were told we wasn't even human. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even you going back to them Marcus Garvey's and Harriet, them race people, race teachers, because they fighting for us when people was trying to say that we wasn't even human. You know what I'm saying? So you had that legacy where they might not call themselves African, they knew they was black, but it was all about race. And if you got around them, they were gonna make sure that they tried to pull you up. As simple as that. Later, like right now, the black thing, and people can kind of choose what they want to be, and I ain't this, I'm that, and I'm more, I'm such and such. No, your ass was black back then. You know what I'm saying? We're all in the same boat. Now people can choose to say that they something different. You know what I'm saying? And blase this and blase that. But it was one time we was all up under that same yoke. You know what I'm saying? That's when that teacher was really important. Our teacher ain't important now, but back then the teacher was the shit. You better not disrespect no teacher back then. They had the information, they had the knowledge. You couldn't even challenge them. A teacher might get away with some shit. A teacher might do something to you that your parent might not do.
Yeah, that's how we came back.
Yeah, then later, the parent flipped it, and the parent would say, nobody can't do nothing to my child, even to the detriment of their own child.
Right.
Yeah, some parents fuck their own children off, and you can see it. You know, goddamn, that child ain't gonna be shit, but not the child don't know that parent is fucked off.
Right. So that generational teaching, you know, back to that generational teaching and how important it is to know, you know, the generation before you and our ancestral stuff before us, and and it makes a big difference when you're in this mindset and living that way. You know, you talked about something else you brought up. So he was talking, and I was thinking of this idea I put out in front of people is they fall back on, you know, things happen for a reason. And my response is, what are you doing on purpose, right? And that's a power move.
No, this is Eric.
Yeah, that's a power statement, you know. Things happen for a reason, you know, I do this for a reason. And then, well, what are you doing for purpose, right? And you talked about that, you know, you just got done getting that down the line with my understanding, right? So it just complimented, you know, where I remembered from, acted in, and where I'm remembering right now. And then you also talked about ASCAT. So I wrote down I remember seeing that before, but ASKAT.
AS C
or ASCAT.
ASCAC, I think. ASCAT, yeah.
Okay.
African Studies for Classical African Civilizations. African Studies for Classical African Civilizations.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So when you start dealing with that, that's when you start getting them heavy scholars. Them was real historian scholars that came together. And what happened was Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark would go to New York, right? On the weekends. And the people from the colleges would come out to see them. And they would have it at the Slave Theater and these different little old forums. If you ever get some old takes of Dr. Ben, or especially Dr. Clark them, they'll be in these forums talking. And they were charged like $10 or something to get in. But these were college students going to listen to them on the weekends, right?
Right.
When they go listen to them on the weekend, when they went back to college that next week, they will beat their professors across the head with the information. You with me? They was like, well, this is what, you know, they were getting this information from our scholars, and because they hadn't been taught it in high school and they wasn't being taught it in college. So when Dr. Ben teaching them this on the weekends, they going back and challenging they professors, and they start changing the curriculum with that. So this was the movement in the 80s and 90s, and that's where you see a lot of this stuff that we talking about, and people being woke and all this here. That came from some real serious scholars just going out to the public accepting it, and then taking it back to the colleges and asking questions. And why I don't know about this book. And Dr. Ben told me about this here book. And, you know, holding that scholarship up to him. It's something different. Why we ain't learning about this? And, you know, them teachers, you know, it made them pull that curriculum up. You know, you ain't indoctrinating me no more. I'm not gonna pay for some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm paying for my education, and you feed me bullshit. We having a problem with that.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that kind of stuff had happened.
Yeah, I like that, man. And you also talked about how, you know, the slaves was brought over, and the children didn't know that they were slaves, and that they was, you know, and forced into that. And they also was, taking care of the slave master's children, and they had to teach the slave master's children what they wanted to be taught. And then, you know, then you can move over into redlining, right, where, you know, we're going to provide for you and have us dependent on that educational provisional system, and kick the father out, right? And so we rise on that. And then how is it today? You know, where is that active today? So we got two woke societies, right? One of them, Gerald just talked about some of it. One of them, he talked about both of them, right? I'm just gonna identify them. One of them is what we do, right? You know, being woken consciously, right? And then the other woke society is also, they conscious too, but they ain't conscious like us. They just playing the chess game, right? So they counteract with another woke society to confuse us, right? With the critical race theory and all those, you know, the White House jump off and all them folks right there, right? And DeSantis and all these other cats, man. So, you know, I put out that question real quick, you know, what is going on today? And then I gave my visual of it, right? And so, you know, and then what are the women doing, right? Are we treating them like so I asked what are the women doing, but my point is, are we treating these ladies like queens, right? You know, are we giving them, you know, proper identification and treatment, right? So that we can honor them more and then pass that stuff on that we're learning more solid, man. Because I think if you can have an idea, man, you can have an idea, well, what is it really looking at you in your life, man? What is it looking like in your life? And that's that power movement, man, to me. So, you know, I just wanted to capitalize on some of what you said, and then I wanted to show you this, right? Jamie, you see that?
Etymology.
Oh yeah, I see it. I see it.
Yeah. And then Jamie had a few questions posed, so and then I put that on the information that I put out to the other platforms. So I want to make sure we at least hit some of those questions that Jamie posed.
Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, I'm my bad, family and panel. Hey, I'm just having my dinner right now, man.
Oh, we good,
I just
man.
came off of a 4-day fruit fast, so I just wanted to. So I'm breaking my fast today, and I'm hungry than a hostage right now, family. I just want I just want y'all to know, but I'm having some great north. This is off the subject, family. I'm just real quick. This some great northern beans. I got some fried yucca, like fried potatoes, but it's fried yucca. I got some, and I got some. I got the collard greens and the kale mixed together, and I got the cornbread made with the coconut milk. Right, and I got the fried sweet plantains. Right,
there you go with them plantains.
Yeah. I had to say it because, hey,
Gerald, he put me through a loop on this one, man.
Hey, listen,
dude put me through a loop on the plantains, man. So now he clowned, right?
Right, listen.
Yeah, he told me go get some plantains. So I went and got the plantains, right? And I called him and I said, man, you know, they got these different kinds, man. Which one do I get? So I got the one he told me. And then I came home. And then I came home.
Bullshit.
I came home, King, and I ate it, man. And I mean, I'm peeling that sucker. And it's hard to peel, right? I down there got a chisel and a crank bar, right, to peel the skins off it, right? And so I don't care, right? I'm gonna get it in me, right? And so I'm just eating it, right? And I was like, damn, this tastes like chalk, man, like drywall. But I ate the whole thing, and then I seen the video. Where Uncle was over there in Africa for real though, and he had the plantains, and he said eat them. So I'm eating the peel. I ate the whole dry ass chalky plantain, and then later Jamie gonna tell me that ain't how you do it.
Hey man, because listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. See, this is what happened, man. The brother was watching this other brother on TV on a video. The brother was explaining to him about the different type of plantains, right? Okay. Now I was telling Unc about these little bananas. These are little tiny bananas, right?
Right.
I didn't know Unc was talking about fucking plantains, but then when I told Unc, I said, Unc, plantains come. I like the sweet ones. They got the bitter ones and they got the sweet ones. I said, I like the sweet ones, but you have to cook them in butter, right?
No, we didn't get to that part.
Yeah. No. I told him because that's how I told him how I like it, right? I like mine cooked in butter, right? And I said I didn't know which one was the sweet one and which one was the bitter one, but I had to ask my wife which one, if the green one or the other one, right? But so this dude, he goes to the stove and goes and so he don't even know what he's going to get. He asked the dude at the stove what to get. The dude pointed to some to some dry ass, green ass plantains. He'd have bought the plantains. He'd have ate the whole plantain and the damn peel. He'd have ate the peel too. Hey man, he gonna call me mouth all white and chalky and shit. Talking about, man, what is this shit?
God,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah, but then let me know he was trying to, he ready to go forward with it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, Jill, man. That's what I'm saying. You better, and motherfuckers put some shit out there, man, and I'm trusting my dudes, man, you know, and you better come correct. But that was that offshoot was all on me, man, because I had my own ideas and shit. So it was pretty cool. One of those things, man. But you know, you take that to the you know, the reality of things, man. You know, what are we really doing, man? You know, my thing was the nutrients gonna get in me either cooked, making it taste good, or doing it the proper way, or eating them raw dog. So, you know, that was my whole thing either way.
Mhm.
All right, man. And I know, Gerald, I know everybody know about this. A minute and the Proverbs of Solomon. Oh yeah, Psalms of Solomon. Now, you know, and everybody know that in the Bible, Solomon is he's the most wisest man on the planet, right?
Right.
Right. And he knew. I mean, and his proverbs were.
Don't say Proverbs because there's a book in
Psalms.
It's Psalms.
Look.
So she talking about the Songs of Solomon?
Yeah. But look. So what I'm saying, well, what is proven is Solomon stole a lot of his proverbs from the Egyptian scribe Amenemot. Right? Am I right or wrong?
That's what I understand. That's from what we studied.
Gerald, argument that,
well, hey, Gerald, what you think, Gerald?
their argument is just that it say Proverbs. We all argue that we know a lot of them Proverbs come from a bunch of different places. Their argument now is just that they call Proverbs. They're not saying that author is the Solomon is the author of them. It's an argument like he was smart enough to put them together or collect them or some old bullshit like that. That makes sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, it's so much proof that they came from him that they changing the script. They don't argue. If you're talking to somebody who know, you with me?
Right.
Yeah, they'll say, well, no, it's never said that they all is. He was smart enough to put these proverbs together. And then they'll tell you that other proverbs come from other different people. It's research that show the proverbs came from a bunch of different places. One which was of Kemet. And it's another king. It's another king that they stole some shit from.
Okay.
Yeah. We call it, back in the day, we used to charge them with this is plagiarism. Plagiarism is saying that you the author of something or you providing something and you ain't telling who that source is.
Right. And that's what this is.
Yeah, but even biblical scholars, even the white people figured that out way back. When Kemet started coming out, they could tell. It's just some of us that's ignorant about it. The white people who study, they know this shit. They know. They still might believe and argue from that faith point, but they definitely know. They'll try to say what the devil doing is. The devil is tricked, but they know. They'll say some well, the devil was smart enough to give it to the, they get into some silly little arguments, but they know.
Like plantains.
Yeah, that's good. Okay,
Yeah,
so what I want to do is I want to play a few of them. I found
okay.
this online. I just want to play a few of them, man. They're doing a side-by-side comparison.
Yeah, undeniable when you get into this.
Right. You can't deny it, man. Like, and some of the shit, some of it, he ain't even changed it. He just, he just wrote it right like it was.
Right. And that's why, again, they changed the narrative to where I was just telling you that they saying something else now. They changed, they moving the goalposts. They're saying.
So is Proverbs different from the Psalms of Solomon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, because I thought
both of them are still plagiarized works. We agreeing that, but they've been plagiarized from different sources.
Okay. Well, here you go.
That makes sense. Okay, then they go dealing with the historicity. They got a thing dealing with the historicity of them people. It's a certain point to where maybe David, maybe Solomon, they trying to say there might be some legends, but anything before that, that's all myth. You know what I'm saying? And they're not real people. They telling the story. That's why, it's these stories when they was written, they were still written like 500 years later after what they trying to tell about. They trying to tell that these stories was written after they come out to some exile. So they trying to remember and tell a grand history about some shit they weren't even a part of, but trying to make it sound good and look good. And they've gotten in contact with different things. You know what I'm saying? They've seen different sources and this, that, and other. They're just trying to play it off as if it was theirs. Once light comes today, that's what we're able to show, as you're about to do, how you'll hear some Christians argue that everything is the word of God. You know what I'm saying? And when you start flipping this here stuff in, like, nah, this came from, God stole it from somebody.
Right.
They got to come up with some funny little arguments. But I'm going to let you go ahead so we can make sure we get that information up.
Yeah, they say that, it's the word of God, man, and it came from a minimum. And then they'll start to saying, well, God spoke through these people and such things like that, and just to justify it, right? And so I remember being that.
Yeah, but see, now here's the thing, though. See, now the concept of God didn't come until when? I mean, did it really? I mean, the concept of God, did it come with Abraham, or was it before Abraham? I mean,
humans got a concept of God. Stop right there. Long when we became Homo sapien, you with me?
Yeah.
We had a concept of something came before us. Period. To be able to articulate it and put it in the word and to be done built and talked about it is a total different thing. Okay? That makes sense?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So we was the first ones to have that, not to know about it, but we first one to talk about it and have a written concept of what we call the creator. And to then say it's one source, it's the maker of all things, all this here. We said that first.
But I'm talking about as far as putting it in the religious context. It can't. I'm saying like the first.
Religion.
So the first Hebrew. I'm talking about the first Hebrew. The first Hebrew came on the scene was when? Where was the first? Who was the first Hebrew?
We can't speak like that. We can only speak when we talking about their text.
Well, that's what we talking about.
Okay, so when you start talking about their text maybe 600, maybe 500 BC. start hearing about their texts. And when we start hearing about their texts, then it's about mythology. They Bible and all that, like we see it formed and all that didn't come till later. But it is some people who are around each other that got a certain type of belief.
And they call themselves Hebrews?
At a certain time.
Right, but I mean, what I'm saying is, you don't get the. I'm saying you don't get them until you get the Abrahamic faiths, right?
So that's just I was just thinking biblically, the first Hebrew
Right.
is the father of the Hebrew is
Okay,
Abraham.
but you got to Abraham. This is how I go in history. As far as life and how they was living, right? These people that start calling themselves Hebrews and believing in that, you with me?
Yeah.
They were a select. They wanted to be. You had to act like you was one of them. You with me? We the Jews. Y'all ain't that. We this. That makes sense?
Right.
And then they had their own little spiritual ways, their little religion, the little bullshit they doing. You with me?
Right.
But that's their little shit. And you got in history, you go mess with some other people or whatever, they gonna whoop your ass or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Them people at one time got their ass whooped. Then when they came out, they started writing a fictional history that was really for them. Okay? Think of that. That was just dealing with the Hebrews and the Jews. They say they are exclusive. You with me?
Right, but what I'm saying is.
Now listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. Even though they was first, they did not form the first type of religion like that. Christianity is the one that did that. Christianity did that before the Jews. When Constantine came in and say, hey, we're going to do it this way. Nobody had ever done that. You got the Greeks before them with all their different gods. You had the Hebrews had their little old thing, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but I was speaking on before all that. I was talking about before all that. I'm talking about back when. I'm talking about when Abraham, when there wasn't no Abraham.
Abraham never lived. Abraham is a fictional being.
I'm saying according to the Bible. We talking about according to the Bible.
Okay.
According to the Bible, Abraham.
Abraham was born in a place close to what they call Iraq, according to the Bible.
Right,
Ur. This is supposed to happen after a few when they made a tower of Babel.
What's that? 2166 or something like that, right? They got the timeline around that time.
Yeah. So if we sticking to their timeline through Usher, which some of them will lock in and some of them won't. I mean, it becomes silly then, but however they want to, however they want to do it. But again, at one time they say it was a big flood. Nobody went on the earth. Then you got Noah. All them people come off. They together. They built a Tower of Babel. God supposedly get mad. He changed the languages. They spread out to different parts. Then the Bible pick up and telling you where these certain people at. And they talk about this dude named Abram, who his name was changed to Abraham, that he was in Chaldea or Ur. That's in present-day Iraq. He told him to leave where that was with them people. He say, fuck your people.
Right.
Leave and come have a covenant with me. He then left up out of there, and he first place he came was to Egypt.
Right.
He went into Egypt, told a lie about his wife. His wife was his sister.
Okay, so hold on right there. Stop right there. So now this the man I'm talking about right here. That came up with the three face. I mean, this who they fashioned the three face behind. He the father of these three faiths, the Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Am I correct?
Right.
So now he's the father. So him being the father, what does that mean? What does that mean? Him being the father of it? I mean, did he just was it something he took over, or something that he founded?
Now he's the father because that God made a covenant with him. First, God made a covenant with Noah. First, God made a covenant. Let me teach you how. First, God made a covenant with Adam. Adam broke that covenant, right? Shit went crazy. People, they started killing each other, acting all crazy. God say, I'm mad, I'm finna destroy the thing. He made a covenant with Noah. After he made that covenant with Noah, Shem, which was one of Noah's sons, he made a covenant with Shem. Through Shem came Abraham, told Abraham to come up out of there. Everybody break these covenants now. But he so-called have a covenant with him. When he do it with Abraham, he tell Abraham to come up out of there and he gonna make them a nations of nations or something. So when Abraham is the father of all the faith, of course, when they say he crossed over, when he crossed over from out of Mesopotamia and came into Egypt or whatnot, because they never went back after that. They never went back over there. They stayed either in Egypt or in Canaan on this hillside. But that was what they call the crossover or the Haribu. Okay? He's the father of nations because that became Hebrewism, dealing with that. Moses, 1 king. Now, Abraham, who did he fucking have? He had somebody at a late age. Damn, my mind going crazy.
Abraham, you said who?
Abraham gave birth with his wife Sarah to somebody at a late age. Abraham,
Hagar.
I think it was Isaac.
Isaac, yeah.
He gave birth to Isaac. Isaac became, he started the what's his name? Right. Then he gave birth to Hagar, Ishmael. Ishmael became the mother of the
Muslims, wasn't it?
The Muslims. Right. Yeah. And then down through the line of David or something like that. That's when Jesus is supposed to came. You know, so Abraham, when they do his genealogy, that's why they say he's the father, you know, of the three heads. As far as dealing with them are Western religions, okay? They're gonna have basically the same God, they're just gonna call them something different.
Well, them is Iraqi and Iran religions.
Right.
They made no damn Western. The Western took it. They adopted it. But that ain't damn sure ain't no Western. That ain't got nothing to do with Western. Well, Western just took that and took it like they took everything else.
Well, when you deal with the first one of them, though, Christianity is the first religion. Christianity then
came from Africans.
And then came from us. Came Judaism. Judaism is the last, even though it's the original one. It was the last one to form. They are exclusive people. When Christianity formed, Christianity say we're going out to save everybody. That's why they still do that now. You with me?
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Listen what I'm saying. Jews be hiding. They don't want, if you ain't a Jew, you ain't a Jew. You can try to convert to be a Jew, but Christians want everybody to be Christians. That makes sense?
Right.
That made them totally different from the Jews right from the beginning. That's why they was the first religion. And when they came out, what they do is it's a word called proselytize.
Right.
As Jesus told his teachers to go teach. You know, I'm going to teach y'all go teach and spread this word, spread the gospel, spread the good word, spread God's word, spread these spells. They want everybody to be that. Muslims came later, and Muslims like, well, shit, y'all doing it wrong. And when we get in power, we're gonna stop y'all from doing it that wrong way. Y'all gonna do it our way. That's what the jihad and that's what ISIS, when they come around, you're gonna do it this here certain way, or they'll kill you, chop your goddamn head off. You want to practice Christianity? Come over here. We're gonna chop your head off.
That's right. Damn right.
They don't play none of that kind of shit.
Hey, so let me get to this real quick, man. It's only a few of them, right?
Yeah.
So this is a minimum, chapter 1. Give thine heart, I mean thine ear, and hear what I say, and apply thine heart to apprehend. It is good for thee to place them in thy heart. Let them rest in the casket of thy belly, that thou may act as a peg upon thy tongue. That's a minimum. Now, you know, some years later, like a bunch of years, thousands of years later, incline thy ear and hear thy words of the wise, and apply thine heart to my doctrine, for it is pleasant if thou keep them in thy belly, that they may be established together upon thy lips. Now,
You talking about Proverbs 3, right?
that's Proverbs 22, 7 and 18. 17 and 18, sorry.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm looking at proselyte, and underneath it is proselyte. I'm just looking at it in the etymology book. You can keep going, man. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing while you guys are talking.
All right.
What you was looking up in the etymology?
Proselyte and proselytize. So
Okay.
it says convert, about 1318, proselyte, borrowed from Old French proselyte, from late Latin proselytus, proselytus, from Greek prostelos, prostitute, one who came over, stranger, convert, literally having arrived. Pros to altercation of proti, towards, plus Eli root of, and I don't know how to pronounce that word, eluse, to be going, to come, and wow, this is deep, this is crazy. Formed from English proselyte plus eyes, and that's what it says. So that was my first dip into the book.
Hey, Pete, hey, hold on for a second. Hey, peace, Eric. Hey, Eric. Hey, tell her don't try to. Well, I don't know what she's doing, but all she got it like the link that you sent her. Tell her to hit that link. Don't try to come in through Zoom. Tell her
Oh,
just to hit that, just to hit the link.
through Facebook.
Huh?
Tell her to hit the link through Facebook.
Yeah. Well, whatever. However you sent it, just tell her to just hit the link. Don't try to come. Yeah, hit it through Facebook.
The only way it'll come, the only way she said it, yeah, because the only way I was able to get through is if I hit it through Facebook.
That's how you hit it, because otherwise you ain't gonna get. You know, you gotta put all
Well,
kind
she
of
said,
numbers and all kind of shit in.
so sorry, she's got to find a way to get in there in some kind of way, because I don't know because she said she tried to get invited to the group itself on invited to Sankofa, and it wouldn't let her.
The one letter you get invited into Sankofa 180 degrees.
No, that's why she wouldn't. That's what I sent him a copy of that.
Yeah, that's.
But anyway, yeah, it for some reason it wouldn't do nothing.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking now, man. It ain't nobody has. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, wait. Somebody just joined.
You're not talking about Christine, right? Not that one. That was yesterday.
What's her name, King?
She's probably Black Butterfly.
So Eric, you should be able to go to Sankofa 180 degrees, and then right when you get on the page, it shows an invite.
Right, I tried that. It wouldn't. It was weird because it wouldn't even. Oh, that's hard to explain. It wouldn't. I went through all my messenger, and I couldn't find her link. Let me see. I'm gonna try this shit again, man. Let me see here. X out of that. Yeah. All right. So when I push invite, I don't even her name don't pop up on my list. When I do a search, it don't pop up. But on the next page, she's there. I don't know how that works.
So you're a friend with her on Facebook, right?
Scrolling through, huh?
You're a friend with her on Facebook, right?
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it should just go, man. I don't know what you need.
I'm scrolling through my Facebook list now, and I don't see her
You see,
handle.
what about your messenger?
That's where I am now. I'm like, when I'm not in Messenger, I'm on Sankofa, and then when I push invite, it went to my Messenger list. And so, but it got a search at the top. It's suggested. Then it got a search at the top, groups in common.
So you should be able to put her name in the search, and then
Right.
invite from there.
Exactly. The only thing I can do is push share group, and then when I share group, her name pop up. And that's what I did. But she said,
So
when she tried it that way, when I shared the group with her,
so put the link in that share group.
copy link to group.
Yeah.
Copy
She
link
should
to
better.
group.
She should better hit
Okay,
that
good.
link like everybody else, man. Hey,
Link.
unless her phone, it might be her. Hey, listen, you might have to do it through her email.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. Let me see.
I forgot about that. You might have to. She might, because my wife, you gotta her phone. You gotta do it through her email, or she ain't gonna be able to get it.
Oh, for real? Okay. Now,
That's new news to me, but
message.
Yeah, she can't. She got that iPhone.
Okay.
And
I just sent her. I sent like a link to the group. The first time I sent it, I don't think there was a link on it. This one actually has a link. So maybe that's what I did wrong. Because the first time I tried to send it, no, I just copied and pasted. Yeah, okay. So anyway, I sent it as a link, and I'll see now.
okay, well, we'll see if I mean, hey, text her and let her know that you sent her the link again.
Right, that's what I'm doing now. Another link. All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna try to call her and see if you get it.
Okay, all right. Hey, so what I was saying was, man, it says look to these 30 chapters. They inform, they educate, right? And then it says, save, I not written for you. 30 sayings of counsel and knowledge, right? So, I mean, we definitely seeing it, man. Like, beware of robbing the poor and oppressing the afflicted. Rob not the poor, for he is poor.
I love. I try. I get no answer, so I don't worry about it.
Okay. I mean, cause yeah, I mean, and it's weird that she can't go. She should be able to go right on Facebook, punch in Sankofa 180 degrees.
She did. She said she got to the. She found it. She found it. But when she tried to ask for an invite, it sent her that. It gave her. It responded to her, and she sent me a picture of what it sent her.
Send it to me, Eric,
Let me
so I
see.
can look at it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. She said, "Won't let me join." I said, "What does it tell you?" She said, "Nothing." And then she must have seen a Zoom because she sent me a picture of the Zoom that says invalid meeting ID.
Okay, so she's trying to connect. So she shouldn't even need a ID or a password.
Or tell her she can go on YouTube right now, catch us live. I put it in the chat.
Okay.
I put the link in the chat. Tell her hit that link.
I'm gonna text that now.
So she has to go to Sankofa live on YouTube.
Right.
Sankofa 180 degrees live on YouTube.
And tell her to go in and she'll see, and she's better see the link. Let me see.
I'm looking at Sankofa right now. So,
You see it?
I'm texting.
but it says she joined. So she must have joined because we got 62 people already. So let me just.
I thought I put it. I ain't put it in the chat.
I see butterfly white, or black
Yeah,
butterfly
that's
white.
her. That's
Okay.
her.
So all she got to do is go to Sankofa and then scroll down, and then I put a link in there for this session right now.
Okay, I just text her. I text go to Sankofa 185 on YouTube. Click the link. But yeah, I didn't want to interrupt the thing. I was just checking in to see. She texted me back and forth, and I didn't know what else to do.
What's all good, King? I just wanted to tell you. All right, so I'm gonna start all over, man. Beware of robbing the poor and oppressing the afflicted. That's a minimum. Chapter 2. Rob not the poor, for he is poor, neither oppress or crush the lowly in the gate. That's Proverbs 22, verse 22. All right. Now that what we're doing, Eric, is we were showing we was doing like a little side by side comparison of minimum and huh?
Okay, a little comparison.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
So we were just checking that out, man. I mean, and I'm only doing a few, man. I was just seeing just make it kind of seeing something, man. Hold on. All right, we just did that one. All right, here's another one right here, right? All right, so associate not with a passionate man, nor approach him for conversation. Leap not to cleave to such an one, that terror carry thee not away. That's a minimum chapter 9 and 10. All right. Do not befriend a man of anger, nor go with him nor go with a wrathful man. Lest thou learn his ways and take a snare for thy soul. That's Proverbs 22, 24, and 25. All right. Uh the same one, right? Yeah. And here's another one. A scribe who is skillful in his business findeth worthy to be, what is that? Courtier. That's the Minimope, chapter 30. If you see a man quick in his work, before kings will he stand, before cravens he will not stand. Proverbs 22:29. Eat not bread in the presence of a ruler, and lunge not forward with thy mouth before a governor. When thou art replenished with that to which thou hast not right, it is only a delight to thy spittle. Look upon the dish that is before thee, and let that alone supply thy need. That's Amenemope chapter 23. And then it says, when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite. Be not desirous of this of his dainties, for thy are breads of falsehood. As Proverbs 23:1. The mouthful of bread too great to swallowest, and vomitest up, and thou emptied of thy good. That's a minimum chapter 11. The morsel which thou hast eaten shall thou vomit up, and lose thy sweet words. As Proverbs 23:8. Remove not the landmark from the bounds of the field, and violate not the widow's boundary. The widow's boundaries. Sorry. Amenemope chapter 6. Remove not the widow's landmark, and enter not into the field of the fatherless. Proverbs 23:10. Give thine ear, our ears hear. Give thine ears hear the words that are said. Give thine heart to interpret them. That's a minimum of chapter 1. Apply thine heart unto instruction, and thy ears to the proverb of knowledge. To the words of knowledge. I'm sorry. Proverbs 23:12. Hey, that's it, man. I mean, if y'all want to go into this, but that was it. That's all I wanted to say on that right there. So talk, man. So talk to me, fam. What y'all think, man? What happened? Unc just fell off?
Go ahead, I'm here.
Baby. Huh?
You about to say something?
No, I said excuse me. No, I said Unc just fell off.
Oh,
No, I was just saying that's all I was saying, man, on that tip right there, man. I was just giving a little side by side on I guess it's supposed to be the most intelligent man on the planet at that point in time. And what that the same cat that Makeda came from Ethiopia to see him, because he was supposed to be the most, you know what I mean? Remember that? Ain't that the story?
is that the story?
Yeah, that's the story. She
Vaguely
was,
recall
yeah,
some
she
of
was
that.
supposed. Hey, I think that she was the same one talking about don't look upon me because I'm black or something.
Cause
Wasn't that
I'm
her?
black. Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah. Ain't the same thing, Gerald?
Yeah. Uh, they try to make that historical, so it'd be hard for me to even play with it sometimes. Because I'm when they're doing that, they're really trying to make it historical because it was some queens from Makeda. For real,
Yeah.
for real. Yeah. So they mixing history with some
The truth.
legend, fictional
Right.
things. Yeah.
Right.
It can get tricky when they do that. Sometimes you'll hear them saying, well, like Moses was Akhenaten. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ever heard that?
I heard Moses.
No,
I heard
I ain't heard nobody say that.
no.
Yeah. You'll
Yeah,
hear them
Moses
trying
was
to
not-
turn some biblical figures into pharaohs. Never let them do
Yeah,
that.
oh yeah. I've heard
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where it can get really, really, really murky there too, because you got that going on. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, King. Like,
Well, again, this is how you have to look at that. Like said, he was one of the most wisest men in the world.
right?
And he's wise because of his what?
Because of his knowledge, wasn't it? Because of his
And his
wisdom.
proverbs, those proverbs, that's knowledge what you were speaking. All that there is wisdom works. That makes sense?
Right. Words of wisdom. Right.
Yeah, if you ever look at African stuff, that's what we African proverbs. If you start looking at them is deep shit that we say on high conscious levels.
Right.
You know, Semitic proverbs, African proverbs.
Right.
But he was the supposed to be the wisest king because of these words. But then when you find out he's stealing or these words are plagiarized from Kemet, it more makes sense.
Don't make it wax.
Coming from, yeah, the sources from Kemet. You know, so once you know about our history and you study, then you say, okay, just like y'all ever heard this.
Put it up there a little bit.
Teachers up
Oh
the
yeah, they
top
teach it
of
up at Tahoe Tep. Yeah, that's the old. Oh man, yeah, that's the
I got
oldest book.
that one.
You got that one too, Eric?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so when you start reading these is better proverbs. That's what that they talk. It's the
That's
same.
exactly.
When I say this, what we do. This the oldest book. We got a spiritual book, but we was even talking this type of stuff before we even started our spirituality. When I'm saying this is what we do, not just because I say so. It's a record of it. That makes sense. And once you study and understand the record, it all makes sense. So if I was to read some of the proverbs from the oldest teachings, do not be proud and arrogant with your knowledge. Consult and converse with the ignorant and the wise, for the limits of art are not reached. Number two,
Hey, see that's tough. That's tough. Go ahead. Keep on. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
If you meet a disputant in the heat of action, one is who is more powerful than you. Simply fold your arms and bend your back. To confront him or her will not make them agree with you. Okay? And most of the time that's telling you you're finna get into some evil speech. When you confront somebody when they're raging, you're gonna protect your shit too. It's gonna be on and popping. That makes sense? That makes sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For sure. For sure.
Yeah, if somebody get to arguing with you and you get crazy with them, as they say, if somebody come watch, they don't know who the fool is. It's just like two people arguing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I dig that. I was just sharing that.
It's two pigs fighting in the mud. They don't. Sometimes people don't want to see that. They don't care. You might be right, but you get into it like that. So what they're saying, if you know you're right and whatnot, don't even argue with them. Chill. You done made them mad. Sit back and watch them. They mad. If you meet number three, if you meet a disputant in action, one is who is your equal. One is who is on your level. You will overcome him or her by being silent while they are speaking evilly. Okay. And I'm just going to take it back to the first thing I've been telling y'all, right? This is what we do. We talk. We always do this, right? So in one of the oldest books, some of the first things they telling us is how to act when we be talking with each other. How to behave in a certain manner. Because this is what we do. Don't do this, don't do that. These are the teachings. And if we can behave and follow these rules, we can be able to build. We
That's
won't get
all.
crazy.
That's all comedic thought is about, is how to treat your brother and your sister, how to treat your woman, how to treat yourself, how to treat nature, right? How,
Instruction.
and teaching you about the natural world, your natural world, right? The natural world around you. That's it, right?
Yeah.
But people have taken it and made religions out of it, right?
Right.
And added weird, all this weird stuff to it. You know what I'm saying? And now, and this is why we didn't recognize it from the beginning. That's why we didn't recognize it, because it was disguised, King. But man, listen here, man. What you have to understand, what we got to understand is this, is that Christianity ain't nothing but comedic thought, right? Misunderstood, mixed with Sumerian writings, Sumerian texts, and a whole lot of Greek mythology.
So that really takes away from it being comedic thought.
No, because the concept of it is, the whole concept of it is comedic thought. The whole concept, the whole birth, from the beginning of the earth, from the creation story to everything. The whole thing is the whole concept comes from comedic thought.
Yeah,
They
without a
wouldn't
doubt.
have known how to structure that. They wouldn't have. They could have never structured that way. They came in and took that. And that wasn't theirs. That was ours. They took that and flipped it. That's why you didn't recognize it. That's why we didn't recognize it. What you think? Am I wrong? What? Tell me I'm wrong, man. If I'm wrong, please tell me. Shit, I need to know I'm wrong. I got to know that.
Yeah, I think you was right on when I said, so it isn't comedic thought because, it derives from it. And I'm just saying, that, if somebody turns the truth into a lie, it ain't the truth no more. So we can understand, because we do the study, that it derives from comedic thought with a twist. But somebody that doesn't know it, they think that comedic thought is the twist, right? And so, I was just bringing that up as a point. I wasn't really asking the question or, saying that it wasn't the thought. I just wanted to make that distinction between the two.
Yeah, no, I'm just
And
saying
you,
that.
you cleared that up.
Yeah,
So I knew you would. So
Queen.
It's almost not a comparison from that way, Jamie, because it's not even really a comparison from that way.
So what you're saying is, what I brought out is that it's not comedic thought. It's Christianity.
Well,
is that what you?
I didn't say the thought. I'm saying that I'm saying the concept of it is.
Right.
Well, I'm just almost saying that Kemet is before any of them, so it's like any of them gonna get some. All of them gonna steal a little something from Kemet, because we okay. You got Kemet, right?
Right.
For Judaism to even have a even thing, they had to denounce Kemet. You with me?
Of course, yeah.
Whether it's true or not, they had to say that Moses was in there and God came in there and put them 10 commandments on them and destroyed them. They was the bad people. We don't like them no more. That makes sense?
Right. Yeah.
So you got, that's their thing. Then Christianity got to go after them. So Christianity's got to say Jesus came And then the Jews didn't respect him. They had him killed. So the Jews become bad. You with me?
Right.
And then Christianity get their thing. Then the Muslims come later and say, wait a minute, Jesus was just a prophet. He wasn't a savior. Y'all looking at that wrong. Muhammad is the last prophet. But we respect all those others as the last prophet. But Islam is the true faith. They got to say something that the Christians was doing wrong. And that's how that is. So you simply saying, if you don't get to say that something wrong, ain't nobody gonna mess with you anyway. You with me? You gotta say something. You know what I'm saying? So we were told basically don't look at the Egyptians through the scriptures in the Bible because they had did some bad to the Jews. You know what I'm saying? And the plagues had been put on them. So we never really kind of even look back into this. You know, that was just a no-no. Once you look into it, you'll find out, just as you was doing the comparative studies, Jamie, that a lot of that stuff actually come from this. When we deal with the, you know, the iconography, as we bring up with the Mary and Jesus with the Aset and Hebrew, you know, undeniable. You know, so it's many different things.
But that's my point. That was my point. That was my exact point right there, was that the concept of Christianity came out of Kemet, right? The concept, because Kemet was first. So that's where they got the concept of a god. They got the concept and how to structure it. You know, how to structure the god, right? They got all that from us. All they did was took our shit and replaced the characters. And
still think of it like this though, Jamie. It's other people that had other religions. They all got concept of a creator. When we say God, don't they creator might just do some this or that, but everybody got their own creator. Just think of that first. Christianity says,
right. I get that. That makes sense. And that's true. That's 100%, right? But what I'm saying is the everybody got to create, but we got to go back though. We got to go back. Right, to when it wasn't where my aunt was the only thing that was being practiced. We got to go to that point first, and then where did these other things, where did these other ones, where did they derive from? Right, that's where I'm talking about. Let's go from there and then move up.
But when we talk,
you're right. Before
we're being
right,
thrown off by the timeline of thinking that those people was way back then. They wasn't.
Well, they're a lot farther back than what our kings, let's say.
Right. So as you said, at that time, it wasn't even no competition with that. That when you get into the myth about Asar, the Asar resurrection.
So that's where I'm at right there. So what I'm saying is, okay, from that point right there, for anybody to come in, and I'm talking about any of them, because I think the Greeks was the first ones to come to be civilized. Besides, I mean, I'm talking about the first non-Egyptian and non-Nubian, right? I'm talking about.
Let's do it like this, Jamie. Let's take the biblical story, right?
Right.
All right. When we start with that Abraham, when we start getting into the real religions, Abraham, right? Abraham have a God. Abraham God fight against the Egyptian God. According to their concept, they got their own God now.
Right, but that's at that point, King. We skipping. We hold on. We skipping though. We jump. We jump because Abraham come in at because Abraham don't come into the 13th dynasty. So if he
but if
don't
you
come into the,
listen,
that's, go ahead.
right. I'm trying to play with that with the historical thing. If you still go to the beginning of how their belief is, Adam had his own God. That ain't Egyptian God. That's Adam walking in, we don't have that like that. So Adam did
Yeah,
believe in a God. He did.
yeah, but
So the concept of a God is that's what I'm just trying to tell you. They can have a concept of their own God. And he can be doing those type of things and have nothing to do with our shit at that time.
wait, they didn't. Wait. No, they concept. Because we was writing about a God, and then they come in. No, man, no, that you skip it again. We can't we can't do that. Hold on. No, man. Because listen, you got Abraham coming in at 2166. So we're at the 13th dynasty already. Before this cat even is born. We're in the 13th dynasty. King, all the pyramids has been built. You know what I'm saying? We got mega civilizations, major civilizations, King. I mean, right? At this point. Now, this is when this guy comes in, man. I think this is the first encounter. Is this the first encounter with Egypt as far as is any of the biblical characters at this point in time?
As far as dealing with Abraham,
Right. Or
and
any of
dealing with
the biblical characters, period. Is
dealing
this
with
the first
history
encounter? Is this the first encounter with Kemet
in the biblical sense or in
in
real
the
history?
in the biblical sense? We talking about, so see, all we can do is biblical sense right now. Because see, this is to see, because look, this is what I like to do. I like to go off their story.
Okay.
See, because and just to show how you just say go better and make sense of it, no matter how you put it. So this is what I'm saying, right? Is right. So if we start at 2166, if this is a 13th dynasty, King, everything, everything's been built. They got the knowledge. They got shit, man. At this point, I think they got pyramid texts at this point, right? What they got? Yeah, Teddy. They got Teddy. Who else was it? Pepe, all them, his wives, right? Right. Am I right or wrong? I mean, just tell me if I'm slipping.
When you talking about at this here time, yeah, the pyramids has already been built.
Right, so we got the pyramid texts and all that, right? All the pyramid texts is all written and everything, man. So these the oldest biblical writings, the oldest religious writings in the on the planet at this point, right?
Right.
Yeah. So okay, so now let's move on into how they gain the knowledge of a god or a deity, or what I'm saying, a goddess, or a Haru, an Asar, an Aset. How do they get the knowledge of the story of Asar? How do they get the knowledge of Khnum and the potter's wheel? When they left out the potter's wheel, but man was fashioning the clay. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they get to, right? You feel what I'm saying? How do they get to Ptah? That's a church. That's he creates the deities. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, like that's what I'm saying, King. Like how do they get to the concept of Moses coming up off the wall? How do they, what I'm saying? Well, like where did they get this concept from? Telling these stories that they done mixed in, like saying that when the Hyksos was expelled, well, they just mixed that story in and said, well, there was an Exodus. And so we know that there was some people that had to leave and, that left, what I'm saying, in masses, right? So
Hey,
then,
hold up
so
just a
as you were
second,
saying,
Jamie.
yeah, go ahead.
Jamie, hold up just a second. Somebody got some background.
Mm.
Something in the background.
Now you guys have just visited.
Oh no, hold on, let me see.
Hospital, and then you guys have just left, and now you're having a
If
conversation.
so, just mute your mic until you get ready to
Oh,
talk.
that was Eric. That was Eric. I got him.
Okay.
Hey, but all right. So that's what I'm saying, King. So I'm saying so at that point, where do they get the concept of right? And so this is what I'm saying is this is what Christianity took out of Kemet. Just how to form their damn their concept of a God and how it came about, or how the world came about, how the planet came here, right? That's what that's all I'm saying. It's so, so we can see, we can look at the Bible, read the Bible, and then we can go back to Kemet. We go back to the books of Kemet. We go back to the Book of the Dead. We can go back to the Book of the Dead, right? And we can see the like in the scene of in the Papyrus of Ani. When we look at the scene of Papyrus of Ani, right? And you look at that scene, the judgment scene where he's being where he saying he's being judged, right? That's a whole scene from the biblical Moses. That's a whole scene, King. The whole scene is from the biblical Moses, right? But so we can see, so this is what I'm saying is this is where they get the concept. They get the concept of so Christianity came out of Kemet. This is what I'm saying, King. This is where it came
I'm
out.
gonna make it all real quick, man. I'm gonna jump right back on because I'm gonna ask the question that you posed.
You gonna do
I'm
what?
gonna get right back. I'm gonna get right back on. I'm gonna ask
Okay.
somebody a question that you posed, and then I'm gonna get right back on.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Hey, so okay, so Gerald, all right, so now let's all right, so let's work from right there, King.
Okay, you got two things you're doing. Don't call Judaism Christianity, for one.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna tell
Talking
you right
about
there. Now,
Moses and
hold on,
stuff.
because all they is just some high-powered, souped up Christians. That's all they is. Because
But
they
again,
said they studying out the same book, they believe in the same, pretty much the same God, and they believe in the same prophets.
right. But when you're talking about that story about Moses and Abraham, that's not Christianity. First, understand that. That ain't Christianity. That's what they call Judaism. That's the that's Hebrew. They put it in one book, but them is two separate faiths. One who is really a Judaism. They got some like Jews who believe in Jesus, but the Jews usually reject Jesus because it didn't happen as they say. The Christians say it happened.
So you got the Old Testament believers and you got the New Testament believers.
Right. So a person that is Judaism, even if they say Jesus came, he wasn't a savior because the world will be over. That's their proof. That makes sense?
Say it again.
The proof to them that Jesus wasn't a savior because the world is not over. They didn't have no belief that somebody was going to come and then come back. When that person comes, it's the end. That makes sense?
Well, yeah, and I also know
Okay.
that they
The
believe.
Christians said that he came and then he gonna return. The Jews say, well, no, that ain't that wasn't him then. Couldn't have been him. We don't got that in ours.
See, that's the Old Testament cats.
Right.
See, that's the Old Testament
Okay.
cats.
That's why again the Christians can say that the Jews reject Jesus. That's why we don't
So wait a minute, man. Because okay, so let's define what a Christian is first. Let's define that, man. Let's define Christian.
A
Let's
Christian
define
is
that.
one that believe Jesus Christ has come and he's their savior. They believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and through him they get their salvation. They get eternal.
So that's what Christian.
They got to go through Jesus. He came and died. He took they'll play that back to Adam and Eve into original sin. Adam and Eve did original sin. Jesus came and cleansed that. He took everybody's sin away. So all you need to do is believe in him, follow those certain ways, and you'll get everlasting life. But you got to go through Jesus to get to the one, period. Ain't no skipping it.
All right, man. Okay. So, all right. All right, man. So look here, man. This is what we got here. Christian. one who professes belief in the teachings of Jesus Christ, disciples since two, a member of one of the churches of Christ, separating from the disciples of Christ in 1906, a member of the Christian denomination having part in the Union of United Church of Christ concluded in 1961. Let me see. Hold on. The hero. Let me see. The adjective or relating to a Christianity based on conforming with Christianity or relating or being a Christian. See, what I'm saying is, King, like this don't apply to Jews, the Jew or the Hebrews. I mean, so because I mean, yeah, you do have the Old Testament believers that don't believe in Jesus,
No, they believe in God. They'll tell you that they
right?
don't gotta go through nobody to get to God.
Right. So that's still
Different.
that's
Christian gonna tell you you gotta go through
so
Jesus.
so they're not, so they won't say, so you can't, so they don't say. I'm telling you, King, they call themselves Christians. Them Christians,
Who?
them Jews. You don't think they're not Christians?
Wow, the ones that put you got different type of Jews, the ones that put them things on their head, the white ones with them curly shit. Them dudes
Yeah.
don't believe in Jesus. Hell no. They believe in Yahweh. They don't say no Jesus. They believe in Yahweh. Yahweh is the one. Even when you deal with Rastafarians and they call them Jah, that's the same. That's a form of Black Hebrewism or Rastafarianism. Yeah, they don't say Yah, they put the J on it, and it's Jah. We forever love Jah.
Yeah, then what was they saying? They had to say yeah, shit, because they did. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
so they deal with God as Yahweh to them. Period. Jehovah.
okay, okay, so I still need to we need to get to the point where to you know what I'm saying, where like we, we still got to stick to that point, man, where where they got the concept of you remember I said they was, some of the cats talking about we was fashioned out of clay, you know what I'm saying? Somebody phone. Yeah, they rocking. Hey, but so remember how Kanoum was say he made man from the potter's wheel out of
Right.
clay, right? So
Right.
so what I'm saying is, and all they did was left out the potter's wheel, right? So I'm just saying, where they got these concepts, King, this is how they form their stories, right?
At
And
this point,
and their stories is damn near like our stories. I'm talking about the death and resurrection of Asar, just like the Jesus, the death and resurrection, right?
right.
The Immaculate Conception, all like, I mean, like, King, like, where would they get that? Where would that come from, King? Like, so
You already know where that come from.
how would they form that? Well, okay, so that's why I said that Christianity ain't nothing but African uh 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 Kemetic thought, along with Sumerian, some Sumerian texts, and some Greek mythology. A little bit of Canaan. I mean, but you got, I mean, if you say Canaan, I mean, I mean, for real, they is Canaan. So I mean, if you for real.
One, you're gonna have to separate Judaism from Christianity for one. But you do understand that Christianity came in a time at a later point. Egypt is still there, but at this time, the Greeks is that came in.
Yeah,
That's
they
when
up
they
under the
changed
Ptolemies.
to therapists and all that. So of course, we know that this is almost AD shit now. It's not even BC no more. You gotta go Egypt we go back to damn almost 4,000 BC. So
Right. Well, what I'm saying
listen,
is,
hear me real quick.
Go ahead.
The only historical thing that you can say is the Hyksos. The Hyksos don't come into the 15th dynasty or something like that.
They come to rule. They rule around the 15th
So that could be
15th
that could
dynasty,
be
but they
any-
came in at the 13th, around the 13th
Right.
dynasty.
But that could be who you could say historically would be anybody dealing with Moses or anything like that there. Okay.
Okay.
As we tell us as it is in history, it was some people came in and then they later ruled over us and then we kicked them out. Once we kicked them out, that's when you hear the highest shit about Kemet. That's when you hear about Amos. You come into that 18th and 19th dynasty.
Right.
We rolling. Okay.
Right.
But
Right.
as we saying, that's historically. You can say, well, somebody came in. We know the Hyksos came in. The Hebrews, or what we call those people in the Bible, they will say that they are not the Hyksos.
We know they ain't the Hyksos. We know they're not.
Okay, so if they say they can't say they the Hyksos, then I don't know. I don't know when they came in and got the stories. If they
No,
didn't-
they came.
I'm
When they
trying
came
to
in.
give them that as the earliest time. Then after that, it's much later when they came in and got the stories from us. Because they books ain't run till later, is my point.
Oh, right. Okay. I get you.
Yeah,
Right.
our
Right.
walls is still gonna be up there, but you trying to say because they say they was back then, they writing that for they trying to write it back like they was back then. They wasn't. Like when we say Abraham came into Egypt, there's no Abraham ain't real. He didn't come into Egypt. We got no history of nobody. The only thing we understand is the Hyksos coming into Egypt.
Now,
Period.
see, now, King, now I am, now I get it, right? And you 100%, you 100%, you 100%, you 100%,
I used to get
King.
caught up on
Oh.
that. I used to have to be thinking, well, they said they came in. No,
Hey,
we don't got no history
hey,
that
look
they
here.
just lied and saying that.
Hold on 1 second, King. Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. That's sure is, man. Anthony, what's up, baby boy?
What up, dog?
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm chilling.
Hey,
How you-
so I jumped him in, man. I said, let me get a pastor's, Anthony's not a pastor now, but idea of who stepped on the scene first. The first biblical character to step
Hey,
on
look
the
at
scene.
look at. What's up, man? How you doing, man?
Say hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Look at him.
Hey, what's up, Elijah?
Yeah.
What's up, Elijah?
You see him
Look at
smiling with his mismatched shoes?
You see, he got his mismatched shoes on. He said,
Uh-oh.
yeah, he chilling today. That's
Hey,
right.
He's like,
Anthony,
man,
so we
I'm all Nike'd out.
Hey, Anthony, so we doing that children's book read on Sundays, man.
Okay. What
You
what
could
time?
have Elijah jump on in and join for a minute, man.
All right, what time? Because I have
Same
until
time,
6.
2 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, man. And then we do a raffle, and then we so we got these books, right? We got these books and different kinds of books, man, and it's all
All kinds, man.
it's all African studies, man. And then we do a raffle. We put his name in the raffle. We spin the wheel, and whichever child wins that book, we just ask them to come back and read it. So you'd have to come back and read.
Oh dang. This
Yeah.
that sounds like proselytizing to me, man.
Huh?
Y'all trying to game me, man. Just give me on and stuff. That's what it is. Y'all
I
like,
guess
we would give you a free book, but you gotta read it. Just
Yeah.
So you just used that word proselytize, and I just looked it up, and
You like that?
etymology and read it, right?
You like that?
Hey, King James over there just put me up on it, so carry ordered, and I just got it today and broke it up.
Did I use it right?
I'm learning it, man. I'm learning it.
You
I
did.
used the
You
word
did.
right. I think I
Yeah.
used it in the right
You
context.
did. You sure did.
Yeah, see? I know I did. I just wanted to make sure from his perspective.
Hey, so you mind if I share with the guys real quick here, or you share with them your history?
Yeah,
That's where
you
you come
can
from.
go ahead. Go ahead real quick. I'll fill in whatever you miss.
So this is my nephew Anthony, guys, and he was a pastor of a nice church for 20 years, 25.
Yeah, 20,
25.
21 years. Yeah.
Yeah, 21 years, and then he came out here and to visit me, and then the game.
Then I quit everything. Is that what you about to say?
I ain't saying I said the game shifted. I just said the game shifted. And so I don't
quit
want to
everything
take up.
before I came out there. Your
Huh,
timeline's a little mixed up.
Say that again.
I said I quit everything before I went out there.
Right. Right. I'll leave you with that, man. Hey,
Yeah.
so I don't want to get too far off on that because we was in this deep conversation, but I want you to know that we're doing that children's book study Sunday at 2 p.m. And what else was I gonna say? There I went. And then we were just talking about some other stuff right now. So I'm glad you jumped on for a minute. So let's just get back to that real quick. It's good to see you doing.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, so no. So I'm gonna back up a little bit, all right? A little bit.
So he was a pastor?
Yeah, Gerald. Yeah.
Well, then, ask him about it and see how we all on it.
Yeah, so I did ask him. That's what I brought him in on. And,
okay, appreciate it.
And so yeah.
What was the question again?
So
Who was the first biblical character in Egypt, right?
No, the first. Yeah, what's that again? Who was the what?
I asked him who was the first biblical character to enter Egypt.
Okay.
And he said it's a good question. That's the answer he gave. That's a good question. And then he shared. Go ahead, Anthony. Just share what you shared.
What I say? I said.
First you said Ham, and then I said but Ham came after. Ham came after Abraham, though. So it have to be Abraham.
So it had just by deduction.
No, it's gonna be. It would be. Wouldn't it be Noah?
So it would be Noah.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now. I ain't gotta ask y'all. I don't know why I'm asking y'all. I'm gonna tell you right now what it is. Where it goes.
So the reason why I brought that up is because I think it's important, and I didn't want to
tell you right now. I didn't want because you gotta think, man. You gotta think. Abraham came before. I mean Noah. Yeah. I'm sorry. Noah came before all of them.
Right.
Noah came before all of them, but you know what I'm saying, because Noah came with like 2948 somewhere. He came around. Noah came around the second dynasty.
So Gerald, who was the first one?
So Noah don't get here into the second dynasty, right? Now remember, there's already one dynasty that went by. We already got one dynasty that went by. Plus, we got the pre-dynastic period that went by, right? And if I ain't, and I'm gonna tell you, man, if I ain't mistaken, that we got the late pre-dynastic period, we got the middle, early. I mean, we got a lot of pre-dynastic periods before the late pre-dynastic period, King. So we gotta understand that the the little 4,000 timeline is off. But what I'm saying is we're gonna take it from their timeline, because this is how you get the point across. Right. So when you look at Noah comes in the second dynasty. So okay, go ahead.
No, and I just really brought that question back to light because it wasn't pointed out while we were talking about it. Skipped over that, and so I just wanted to identify who was the first biblical character to step on the scene. And I don't personally want to stay in the biblical character stuff, man. But I thought it was important for that question to be answered. or that point to be made clear. So, Gerald, what are you thinking over there?
No, I'm just listening. I'm listening.
To you, who was the first biblical character that stepped on?
When at the point that we was talking about, you started to deal with the patriarchs. When we're dealing with Ham and Noah, if we start at that, them the only people on earth, according to that, which, as what Jamie is saying is, how can we just be born, or we're not even born yet according to the biblical thing, but historically we're already there. Ham is the father of Mizraim, which is called Egypt. He's his father. Not so Ham birthed so-called Egypt. If that makes sense. Sometimes you'll hear from that point they're trying to make Ham Cush, because historically Cush is older than Kemet, if that makes sense. The farther the deeper you go in. But
see, this is where they get in trouble at right here. That's where they get in trouble at, because Ham comes in the fifth dynasty. He comes in the fifth dynasty.
Listen with those words. They'll put a K on that Ham and it'll be Cam, Kemet, Kemet. And so sometimes Ham could be thought of as itself as Kemet. But if you look at what they say, Ham being gave birth to Kemet, he can't give birth to himself. It get the, you know what I'm saying? If I pull out let me get the scriptures. Gotta get that genealogy that he's having.
Yeah, because when you talk about Ham, you talking about the fifth dynasty. You still, and here you go. You talking about the tomb of Eunice. You talking about the pyramid of Teti, right? You talking about the Pepe the First, all them cats, right?
Right.
Yeah, all them, you know what I'm saying? Them real people. They really, you know what I'm saying? These people really existed at this time. You feel me?
Right.
So when you talk, so that's why I said I like to get a feel of what date we talking about, because now we talking about. But see, yeah, see that story right there ain't gonna never make sense, because you can't come how the hell they civilized and they built pyramids already, King. How the hell you come and now say that you birthed, you the founder or the father of Egypt? You know what I'm saying? And Canaan, Cush. He the father of Cush. He the father what's the other ones, man? He father of a couple of more. Shem, all
Ham,
them.
the father of Canaan.
Right.
Uh,
Cush, Mizraim.
Let me get to that. Okay.
And it's another one.
And the sons of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, which they call Egypt,
Egypt.
Put,
Boom. That's
and
it.
Canaan.
Canaan. That's it. Boom.
Right. Now, what they call Put, they say it's Punt, which the Commentans say that's where they come from. So it got it all backwards if we deal it with that. So, as according to the sons of Ham are Cush, Mizraim, which is Egypt, Punt, and then Canaan.
So I know the Queen Hatshepsut used to. I noticed they had a good trade going on with Punt.
Right. They went back to their ancestral homeland.
Yeah. So I know they had a good relationship. But yeah, so you talking about, like I said, you got the tomb of Teti at this, you got Teti, Pepe, all these people at, you know what I'm saying, around this time now. Right?
Right. That's, again, this is if you're putting a biblical timeline against a historical timeline. And if you're comparing that to Egypt's timeline, as we know through the King's List, compared to the biblical timeline, it just it don't match up.
And just a side note, man, y'all. Just a side note for the listening audience. Noah don't have these kids until they run, about 500, y'all. About 500 years old. It just side note. Y'all go ahead. All right, keep going, King.
Yeah, and I know daggone well, man, that Ham would have been before Abraham. So, I'm glad I'm able to be corrected and be semi-okay with it.
Right. Well, again, Ham was the father of Mizraim. Mizraim is Egypt. Then when you deal with the patriarchs, the first patriarch would be Abraham. Abraham, the God calls out to Abraham, tell him to leave his family. He gonna make him a nation if he follows that covenant. He leaves out of there and he goes to
Mute your mic, Jamie. Mute your mic, Jamie.
Who this? Oh, okay. Hey, Rip, let me call you back, man. Okay. Yeah, I'll call you right back.
Okay, go ahead, King.
He goes into Egypt with his wife, but he tells them that ain't his wife, and then some type of way, the Pharaoh supposed to get punished.
That's Sarah.
With more slaves or more gold or some of the crazy story.
He goes in there and he's afraid that they'll kill him because she's so beautiful.
Right.
And so he lies and says, no, that's not his wife, it's his sister or something like that. And then they end up finding out, and then they honor him instead is what it comes down to. They gave him a bunch of land and cattle, I believe.
Well, again, he supposedly, if something supposed to have happened to that Pharaoh, and he asked him, well, why did you do this to me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Why did you curse me? Because you cursed me by trying to be with your wife or being with your wife or something like that.
Right, by not telling me the truth, this was your wife, and or something like that. Now, again, according, if you deal with that, and we're just dealing with it from the biblical history, she was his sister. That wasn't false that she was his sister. He was his sister and his wife.
So he was from Tennessee.
You're crazy, man. Hey, so Anthony.
You ain't from Tennessee, are you, Gerald? I'm just.
No. I'm from Houston, man.
All right, cool.
Hey, so Anthony is real good with putting it in context, the biblical context, and real good clarity on that stuff. And so glad you joined, man, for a minute. And now we can't stay on long.
So
where you from, Gerald? I've never met you. Where you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I think the Black Beast is from Houston. Derek Lewis, he's a fighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Gerald, show him your library real quick. And then Eric got a library just like that too.
Look at that. Wow, still going.
Yeah.
Still going. So, we honored to have Gerald on here too, man. And Jamie be going toe to toe with it, and not in a fight because we ain't trying to debate, man. We just trying to build, right?
Right.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. Pepe II, man, was the first one said that the heaven was in between the woman's legs, King. Yeah, that's the first time you gonna hear they ever heard that. Hey,
where is that? Pepe is in which dynasty?
That's in the 11th dynasty. You don't hear that until they come up with that in the 11th dynasty. Yeah, they knew what was happening, King. They said, hey, that's what Pepe said. Pepe said, yeah, Pepe II wasn't bullshit. Yeah, that's what he said. Hey, Pepe II said that, man. He said that's what heaven was. Hey, Dr. Ben said the same thing. He said, hey, he came out of heaven, and when he got with his wife, he got back into heaven. Yeah. Yeah, but listen, man, then you got the flood, right? Nah, the flood come, Well, what happens to that, man? Now that's what kills me right there. You got the flood between 2370 and I don't know, 20 to 23 something. You pick any of them, any of them. I'm just saying, right? You got, and that's the sixth dynasty. That's the sixth dynasty, right? The flood, the world flood comes sixth dynasty. Pepe the First or one of them cats was the was the Pharaoh at that point, right? That's when they had that's when the world flood came. You had the world flood, but I don't understand how the dynasties keep going.
Yeah.
So the flood must have missed Egypt,
Right. Right.
right? Then we
And
right.
don't mix myth with history. Never.
It missed history. It missed it. Oh, listen, man. Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this, man. Okay. All right. So Upper and Lower Kemet,
Uh-huh.
Narmer,
Right.
King of the South,
Right.
King of the North.
I'm glad you did that because I was just getting ready to set you back to that one.
Yeah. So listen to this, man. So in order for him to unify Kemet, he had to go to war.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got the king of the king of the North.
Right.
You had the king of the North. No one ever talks about the king of the North. Why nobody ever talks about the king of the North? But we always talk about the nature of the North.
So when you bringing up the king of the South, you talking about the the South being North, North being South, or are you talking about it the way we see it on the map today?
No, I'm talking about the way. No, I'm talking about North being South, South being North.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Right? Because the Nile runs.
Without a doubt. I mean,
Okay.
I just want to make that clear.
Right. Okay. So okay. So I'm just saying. So we had Narmer that represented Ra. He was the deity was Ra from South.
Oh, they only be showing Hero at that time.
Huh?
They only gonna show Hero.
Right. Yeah. With the sun disk.
They don't got no disc, he just that
No.
power.
Yeah. They're gonna show Ra. That's right. Until he unify. And so now they go to war, him and the Scorpion King. They represent, I mean, they deity is Amen, right?
They still again on from my understanding, from my studies of it, because I used to get mad at it. I was like, why would they damn go to war with each other? What that mean? You know what I'm saying? So you had what was coming out too before them even doing their thing. It was a people called a Kerma people. They already had did some dynasties before them and had united. Okay, about 300 years before the first dynastic period of Kemet, it was already something that had already went down.
Right. I understand that. Yep.
But listen, and then when you had that pre-dynastic, it got split up again. Make sure you understand that in the pre-dynastic, you got different kingdoms. First and foremost, let me get this out the way. Anytime we hear any king or any queen in Kemet, that's when they united. You never hear of them when they when they don't got them united, period. It's always chaos, they say, when they're not united. So when you look at that time period, when you go with, man, it was a bunch of different kings that when you go through the kings list, we don't hear about good stories about all of them.
No, you don't.
All of them wasn't no just super cool as, you know what I'm saying? Then they just might have held the throne at the time, but they wasn't the shit. And
Yeah,
then
but
really write about them,
any
and they
story
didn't
that you
build.
read about history is always going to be from the perspective of the writer. So if the writer's from the North, of course he's going to paint the North as being better because they're just naturally biased.
No, listen, because but see, let me finish this because listen, because it wasn't. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was a war like that because it wasn't like, because what they did is Narmer and the Scorpion King, some kind of way they united.
Again,
And
it's like
that's
this.
where
Hold
Amen
on,
Ra
Jamie.
comes. That's where go ahead.
Jamie, say for instance, I'm saying, hey man, we need to survive, all three of us, and we need to come together. And you saying, no, I'm gonna be myself. I ain't gonna do it. And I'm saying we all need to do this here to survive. We gotta come together. And you keep saying, no, me and Anthony finna ride on you. We finna unite this.
Right.
So you as Jamie ain't gonna be known, but that symbol you got behind you ain't against the culture. You just didn't want to put it all together. We finna put this together and roll. And that's what
they
made this
did.
great.
Right. That's what happened.
So it wasn't a fight, it's just somebody didn't want to unite at a certain time.
Right. Exactly. And so they end
being
up
stubborn.
And that would have been the Scorpion King didn't want to unite.
Right.
He didn't want to unite Kemet. And so for whatever reason, because I think it had something to do with his father, the Scorpion King first, because they was dealing with the Scorpion King. That was the second one. That was the Scorpion King 2. Well, they had a first. And I think it had something to do with his father. But I ain't found that yet. I ain't found that part yet. I'm just on that part. I'm guessing. All right, on that part I'm guessing, but I'm just saying I think it has something to do with his father because I know that there was another Scorpion King. There was two of them. All right, and so I think, and what I think, and so they end up uniting it and putting Amen Ra together, and that's where you got Amen Ra. But that's.
What you say about that? What you say about that right there?
Listen, hold on. Let's stop.
Okay.
I knew it.
You got that happening in what they call dynastic and whatnot. You got some symbols of, like they got this crystal incense burner.
Yeah. Yes,
sir. Show that talking. They got the Norma planet. That way you can see Norma in the fight going on. And you see the ones who lost, they got their heads chopped off. We see this in the palette. You with me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
When you get into understanding that spiritual stuff, the first thing that you ever get is coming from the Eunice pyramid text. So that's way in the 5th dynasty. Not saying that they didn't have these thoughts and this, that, and other, but we got nothing that they start putting down and recording it in that type of form to understand these names of these deities and where they was going to go at the end of life until the 5th dynasty. And that's still like 2700 BC. That's the earliest writings dealing on that type of level. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now that's the Norma's pattern. That's how we know about the unification of Kemet. Once the unification of Kemet came, you get the dynasties, because once the unification, we ain't fighting no more. The throne gonna come through that woman. When they say the throne and God comes through the woman, especially back then, the Netta was looked as the God, and he had to come through the throne of that woman. The woman was looked like she was really the queen. she just let her son rule or her husband rule, but the
Right.
power was really through her.
That's
She
right.
was the one. They had to go after this certain type of woman. You had to impregnate this certain type of woman or her sisters. That was the royalty. It wasn't the royalty because of your semen. It was the royalty because of her, the throne of Isis that left. She's giving birth to the child, to the son of God, son
And
of
that,
Nebuchadnezzar.
and that's why you see, and that's why you see her sometimes depicted with a throne on her head.
Right, right. You're
Yeah.
when you're dealing with that, they're dealing with a cow. That cow gonna be dealing with the celestial heaven, and a cow, which we all know, you always giving birth, giving milk, giving nurture, and a cow is also just a sacred symbol. When we start being domesticated and whatnot, we had to get to that cow and domesticate that cow before we can sit down and be civilized. We weren't chasing food no more. We had the cow and we had grain. You can sit down and then we can start building.
Mm-hmm.
So that we hunter gatherers, we was running around, chasing things through the seasons. So it was a step up. Then when they uniting, then they uniting under these principles. You got upper Kemet and lower Kemet. One of them is 20 gnomes and the other one is 22 gnomes. They each had their own little old, like mascot. When you look at some deities, look at them as mascots. You with me?
Yeah.
What's the mascots for the New York Giants? Or the Giants? What's the mascot for Philadelphia?
The eagle.
Yeah, if there was like totems. That makes sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was that, so each place or gnome where they live had their own little old totem. Or you was this certain totem. So if you was from that totem, you didn't mess with nobody from your own totem. You had to go to another totem to procreate, because that would be incest to mess with your own people. You understand?
Right.
All it was building everybody up together. And if you built with certain families or certain totems, different things happen. But you got one upper, if you say upper Kemet was 20, lower Kemet had 22. When they put them together, that's where they get them 42. And them 42 declarations. You know,
Yeah,
they
I
played
do.
on a bunch of different levels. You know what I'm saying? But it was that unification for whatever if they thought they had enemies in the south or in the north. They wanted to unify for that. And once they was unified, that's when you hear the best kings and queens. When they're not unified, it ain't going on.
That was
That's when they always getting beat. That's when somebody always coming in on them, because they don't never, because if you notice, they rarely ruling all of Kemet. You really get to conquer parts of Kemet.
Right. They only ever conquered lower, which was the top. Because they was coming in from the Mediterranean. And they would come in first as settlers. We cool, we chilling, we selling this, that, and the other. And anytime anybody came in, they would adopt our custom that you never ever seen anybody do nothing like that. When other people would come in, when they conquer you, you're gonna be what they want you to be.
That's right.
But they would come in and adopt, be like us. So it's times when sometimes the conquerors in, you can tell they the conquerors because they dress like us and they done took on our attire.
Yeah. But see, this is how they get that, when they say that they was enslaved by the Egyptians, then you're not understanding that it probably was the Hyksos that because I know that the Hyksos, they damn sure enslaved the the people of Kemet. You know what I'm saying? And they said that they was harsh rulers too. You know what I'm saying? Until they got ran up out of there.
Well, you got that again. It's not because we think so. They got this. They got the paintings on the wall where you see these people coming in. If they let them come in at this certain time.
You see, they got it on the page. They got it on the wall with their ass running up out of there too.
Right, and then you got it, and you hear the story about Amos, and then Chamos, and then actually after that time they turn into warriors. They start to, they expand Kemet so much. That's how they got in trouble after that period during the 18th to 19th dynasty.
Yeah.
When you hear about the 19th dynasty, they really in. When you hear about Ramses.
When they start falling, when they about the time they start falling.
Well, Ramses is a warrior king, period. Ramses come from by that time, that dynasty is a family of generals. Almost just like when you think of the presidency, and one time MacArthur was the president or something like that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're gonna have smart people. It's the dynasties of families was kind of like that. Sometimes they was priestly, and at that time during the Ramses, because they was warring, that was a military dynasty. When you deal with Akhenaten and prior to him, that was a spiritual dynasty that got so strong that it messed up the balance of Kemet. That's when that Amun was so tough.
Yeah, that's when Akhenaten tried to form the one God concept.
Yeah, but if anybody ever studied Akhenaten, they'll say he was an idiot.
I'm just saying, but he tried to implement. He was the first one to try to implement the one God concept instead of, you know what I'm saying. And it was Amun. I think it was Amun.
It was the Aten.
Was it Aten?
ATL.
Yeah, it was Aten. Yep, that's right. My bad. I apologize.
But again, he was the first egomaniac when he did that. He the first one created a religion. If you want to blame religions, and we say we're against religion, Akhenaten is the first one.
Who was the first one that created religion? Who'd you say?
Akhenaten.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what dynasty was that? Is we still in the 5th?
That was the 18th dynasty right there. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just following. That's all.
When Akhenaten did that, Akhenaten was the only one that it was only through him. Period. God spoke only to him. The Aten spoke only through him. He was the only one that could do anything.
But
And
hey, I'm gonna tell you, they try to say that when they try to say that Moses, that's what Moses, that they got Moses was either named after Tutmosis or what's his name? Shit. Tutmosis.
Yeah, but Tutmosis, Amos.
Yeah, Tutmosis, Amos. Yeah. It was Tutmosis.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they try to say that was Moses. You ever heard that?
I know that. The closest I've seen them trying to do is connect him to Akhenaten because of this. Yeah, because of that whole concept, which they try to say.
The one God.
Monotheism. That the Egyptians prior to that were polytheism. They believe in a bunch of different gods. And He the one that said there's only one God, which is a false narrative.
Right. Yeah. Did that shit? Hey, they hurried up, crushed that shit. They hurried up, crushed that shit.
Well, he started it. He started
it, but they hurried up, crushed that shit though.
Yeah, he started blotting out people and blotting out different numbers. And yeah, they tried to erase him from history. Shit.
Right up, got his ass out the way.
Yeah, they called him a heretic.
Then your boy King Tuck came in. Oh shit.
Jamie on one boy. Jamie rolling.
King
Your
Tut
boy,
is his son.
your boy Tuck came in after that, baby. I'll tell you.
King Tut is his son.
hmm
Yeah. And it just, we wouldn't even know nothing about him either, but they found his tomb intact. When they found his tomb intact, that was a game changer, period. That was
Yeah.
over 102 years ago.
Yeah.
It changed the whole ball game.
Wrong one. Yeah.
And everybody
Sure
started
did.
going, doing their research, redigging and looking. And that's where a lot of this information that we're dealing with, our scholars got a hold to it. Everybody was, even from way back when Marcus Garvey was pointing us back to Egypt, you know, and our scholars, and even from Black History Month, the father of Black History Month. Damn, I'm going blank on his name, but he was pointing us back to Egypt. And what's his name?
He said,
Well, Garvey was way back in the 1920s, was talking about Egypt. But then, damn. Why am I drawing the blank on my man's name? George Washington Carver. Okay. George Washington. Not George Washington Carver. Yeah, George Washington Carver, the father of Black history. He was the
A father of what?
Black
Black
history.
History Month.
Right, right.
Yeah. He started pushing us toward some of their facts and information, telling us to look back into Egypt. You know.
Yeah, I just put a little post on Sankofa with that on there about Black August.
Okay. Well, Black August is a different form from, you got Black History Month, then you got Black August, you got people that were revolutionaries that hardly, how they teach history, they don't want you to know about revolutionaries. You can know about one type of people that's fighting back, but we ain't going to teach you about the other one. So Black August was created, especially from, you know, the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army. And they come out the prison systems after a dude named George Jackson was killed.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And
Yeah, they killed.
after that, they realized and looked back at the month, and they found out it was a bunch of revolutionary events that had happened in this month of August. From the birth of a lot of revolutionaries, the death of some revolutionaries, and you know, Nat Turner, resurrection, the Haitian Revolution.
Yeah, and all that is in that video too that I put up there. All them that you mentioned, man, is right in that video too.
Okay, he got popping in when Mike Brown got killed. That happened in August. You know, it's just a bunch of different things.
A lot of different things happened in a lot of deaths, assassinations happened in August.
Right. Exactly. So it's just a time of remembering them. It tell you some other things, study, you know, time to exercise, you know, try to be, don't use certain words, just try to be, you know,
Conscious.
yeah, productive and good citizens.
Yeah, I've been implementing not using those up on that banner. It says, you know, two things, not to use the, you know, the N word and not to use the B word. You know,
Right.
but I know that's just,
hey, you muted yourself, King. Unmute yourself. Yeah, he had to take a call. Yeah, man. But that's a good build, man. Good build, man. I really enjoy this, man. Yeah. Anthony, the brother came in a few weeks ago, man, and right,
Yeah,
right,
about 2
yeah,
weeks ago.
came in a couple of weeks ago, man, and yeah, he he got a lot to offer, man. He got a lot of information, man. Lot of information. And we got another brother, man, Eric. He jumped off. He had to take a call too, but uh, he offers a lot of information too, man. Good information. So yeah, you know, and I've been growing a little bit too, man. So
That's good.
yeah,
Well, they say iron sharpens iron.
yes, sir, man. We've been missing you, man. You been all right though? How you been, man?
Yeah, man, not too bad. Just still trying to sell the house, get all ready to sell, and figure out what I'm doing this next phase.
Okay, okay.
I've been kicking
Uh,
around, moving to Dubai or something.
oh
I don't
shit,
know. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do yet.
shit, Dubai. Woo. Hey, I'll tell you what though, you probably can't miss when you get out there.
You know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
Yeah,
shoot, man.
all that money going on around there. You should better get some of that money, man.
I just need a little chunk. You know, I figure if I go out there for a few years or something, work, come back, rebuild,
Yeah.
figure
That's
out
right.
what I want to do. You know,
That's right. Hell yeah.
it's
Nothing
crazy
wrong
being
with that.
5 years old and figuring out what you want to do with your life. You know,
Hey, well, shit. Better be in 55.
right? That's what I'm trying to avoid. You
Yeah,
know, shoot,
right.
man. Yeah, but the house is coming together. I gotta meet with another realtor tomorrow about listing it, and we listed once with this lady, but I don't know. She hadn't even been here to try to sell it, so I'm gonna go with somebody I know. I'm gonna go with my brother-in-law.
There you go. Oh, you can go with my daughter, man. My daughter just sell houses too.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I need somebody just to hustle and sell it. I feel like there's a lot of you gotta sell a story. You can't just sell a piece of property, you know.
Right. Well, you know, exactly, man. But you know, when you got something like that, houses, cars, you know, when people, when motherfuckers acquire, they already come to buy a house. They already come to buy a car. So it ain't even whole. You know, you really don't have to do a whole lot of. It ain't. It shouldn't be really. It ain't that damn
That's
hard, man.
about
I mean,
it.
you got to hustle a little bit, but you ain't. You know, but you know that's just about staying up on them and staying up on the places to show and or you know customer base you got.
Yeah, it's just treating people nice, you know, because I don't know, man. I need somebody to go above and beyond, man. She put a price on the house and then she wants to keep dropping the price. I'm like, well, then you should have put the price on the house in the first place instead of building our hopes up and stuff. I'm not trying to give away money.
Right, or give your shit away either, man. So
Right.
like,
So, I'm putting all this time and money into this place and now you're trying to take it. And I just
yeah, my daughter, man, my daughter, she's in the real estate right now, man. She's doing it.
where's she
And
at?
uh, she in Okemos,
Okay.
lives in Okemos, man. But I think she works in Lansing. I have to
Okay. Yeah, just text me a number and stuff.
all right, man. I sure will, cause she's definitely into it, man.
Just see. So how about you, man? How's your health?
I'm good, man. I'm still here,
Yeah.
still here.
How them
Yeah, yeah.
cigars coming?
Oh, I don't smoke that shit no more, man.
They're good. That's really what I was asking. You
Uh,
still off
I,
one?
hell yeah, man. I ain't smoked them up since they told me quit. I said, okay, I said, shit up. Don't even worry about it. It's done.
Right.
They don't have no
Right.
problems like that, man. I can quit that shit in a heartbeat. I quit whatever the fuck if I say I'm done, I'm done.
That's the way I am too, man. I just be like, wake up one day and be like, nah, I'm good.
Hmm.
Don't want to do that shit no more.
Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah,
You
I don't
know?
want. The same thing with how I do, man. I wake up like, yep, I ain't eating beef no more. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not. I ain't doing that no more.
I've been doing pretty good on my diet, man. I've been doing more vegetables and fruits and stuff. And so I
Hey,
dropped
man.
about, I think I'm down to 215 now, you know, from 240, 245, 250.
Yeah, good, man.
Oh.
How you feel? You feel good?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel like I can still exercise. I got to do that still, but it'll come.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, man. So, Gerald, man. Hey, so
I'm here.
okay, yeah. So that's all I was saying, man. I was just talking about the those two little points, man. Just you know, just throw something out there real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most
You
definitely.
know, I mean, the hey, Anthony, did you see the part when we was talking about uh Solomon and a Amenemhotep?
Nah.
Yeah. I showed a little something on that, man. A side by side where I was showing Proverbs and a Amenemhotep, how you know, and a Amenemhotep is like I think the 21st dynasty, something like that. Something like that. It's like 900 something BC, 900 something. But way before Solomon. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, and then we read Proverbs and same things. There, Amenemhotep wrote is right there.
So you guys doing this on Friday nights now?
No, we do today. We were just building, man, messing around, man. You know, just doing a little show, man, and
Okay.
you know, doing some bonus rounds, man. You know, we got building
You
a
got
little
so
bit,
much
man.
information.
Huh?
So you got so much information. Ain't got time to hit it all in one setting.
Pretty much, man. Because you know, you got Gerald, then you got Eric, then you got myself, you got Unc. You know, so yeah, you know, then we, you know, sometimes we have, you know, 2 or 3 other people on. You know,
Right. No,
shit.
that's good.
I think we done had 11 people on at a time. Yeah, that mother was full.
Wow.
Yeah. Just building, man. Had a good build too, man. Real good build. Yeah, but that was it, man. How, you know, uh but yeah, man. So what you think? What you think, Gerald? Just think about it, man.
I'm good. Like I said, I through my studies and my previous just going into it, I had to make sure I separated what was legend from what was historical. And historical, we only deal with the Hyksos.
That's right.
It's just
Anything else
crazy to
we
me
get.
about the timelines and how things seem to be just picked out and plopped in wherever, you know, builds their narrative, you know?
Well, that's to me too, because it's if you think about it, the Hyksos, they start coming in around the 13th dynasty. I think they don't take over to you said the 15th, right, King?
Right.
They take over on the 15th dynasty. I think they ruled all the way to like the 17th dynasty, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think they ruled all the way to the 17th dynasty, man, till I almost ran their ass up out of there, right? Was it I almost
Ka-
to Harka?
Kamos.
Kamo?
Almost started it, almost got killed, and his brother came up later in a vision.
and avenged them, right? Because then they kill his. Wait a minute, didn't his mama go ride for him too? Was that the one? Or no, that wasn't her, was it?
What, say it again?
Didn't they kill the husband first, or was that a different one?
He would have been almost would have been the first one that took aim. We know about that because they got his skull. It's an axe, like you got hit in the head with an axe. So we know about Kamos. Uh, now when Amos, his brother avenged his
His
death.
brother. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
His
his
brother.
brother avenged his death. It's on. They start that dynasty is the most glorious dynasty, unless you deal with the 19th dynasty with Ramses.
Ramses.
That's when they
19th and the 20th.
18th and the 19th.
Well, you got the 20th with all the Ramses, right?
You gonna have Ramses by himself is
Ramses the second. You talking about Ramses the Great.
yeah, but
That's the 19th dynasty.
yeah, that's so the 18th and the 19th is the greatest ones. You
Right.
got a bunch of different Ramses as kings.
Yeah, you do, man. You got about 10 of them motherfuckers, man. Bunch of them cats. But yeah, yeah, you right though. Kamos.
Right. So
Kamos ran their ass up out of there.
that's the only thing historically we would know. But they, as far as the Jews, they reject that. They say that's not them. So only thing that I used to argue is that even the Jews are they trying to be the Hyksos in history, but then rewriting a different story for their theology. They're creating a different story. So again, they enslaved us. And if it's a such thing as an exodus, they getting kicked out, not the way around like, well, again, that is the story. They just don't want to accept that for the Hebrews. The Hebrews say they got a totally different story. They're not the Hyksos. So it becomes, I don't know.
Man, them Hebrews say that they everybody. They the Canaanites, they're the Palestinians, they're the Hyksos, they the Israelites, they everybody, man. They the Jew, they even some of them, I heard some of them say they the Egyptians. I mean, they man, listen, man, I'll be like, yeah, the only thing is we know for sure y'all got your ass kicked out of everywhere y'all been. So you might have been all them damn people. Cause you know what I'm saying? Because you didn't get, because you was, but we would know for sure that you ran your ass to Egypt at least twice. They, you know what I'm saying? Some say 3 times.
So they really heavily to stick on their stories if you're dealing with them. That's why with them, if you get to messing with them, scripture is everything. As they trying to prove who they are, as you were trying to say, they become everybody by trying to prove who they are through history. So they try to match the scriptures to something that comes along historically. And that's not the historical method. It's not even how it's done.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And
That's
most
right.
of the big scholars that deal with them just say that stuff is myth or legend and accept it as that. Don't try to make it historical because they did all the research. They studied and, and dug and, they don't find it.
It don't work scientifically, archaeology, anthropologically, none of that, man. It just don't. You can't match it up. They got some. What they do is they mix some real characters in with the story, like Taharka. They got Taharka in the Bible. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they mix them cats in and tell a story, you know, oh man, you know.
Or again, they'll have grave sites and to tell people that they won't tell you that this is what they believe. Again, that's when they're dealing with their faith. They got the grave sites of all these people now.
Shit, where they at?
Again, they
That
got the grave site of Abraham and all that. Go look up.
shit. I
Again,
bet they do. They got the ark too, right? Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, they got the ark. I remember. Yeah, they got the ark too. Yeah, you're right.
But they just
Right.
can't get it off the mountain.
Yeah, you got the ark. They got the ark too. I forgot about that. Yeah, that motherfucker's still on the mount right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
can
right.
build look, you can build it with no power tools, but you can't get it off the mountain with every advantage.
You know, you can't. Yeah. You know what I mean? With all the shit you got, you know what I mean? All the shit you got,
You
and
can't take it
then
apart.
you know how historical that would be. Do you know that would shut a lot of shit up, and that would, you know what, you know what I mean? You know that would be historical, man. That would be worldwide news, King. You couldn't hide that. You couldn't keep people off that mountain. You wouldn't better keep people off that mountain, King. Right? That mountain.
And imagine if the DNA from that boat got into the system and started matching people.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying is, man. Like, yeah, they got the boat. What else they got? You said, King. They got the graves and shit. They got that. I know for sure they got Jeebus's grave. They got Jeebus' grave. They got.
They used to I used to say, what is it about? There was a 7-year period that the Discovery Channel found Jesus's grave every year.
Yeah, they always find it, and man, they find it all the time. The shit, they gonna keep finding that motherfucker too.
But they never
Right?
show you. They keep it a mystery.
Hey,
They're like,
and I'm gonna
well,
tell you, and I'm gonna tell you another thing that they always that they still looking for is the ark of the ark of the ark
the Ark of the Covenant.
yeah, the ark of the
So
covenant.
David, where David's spear and everything is, right, or not David's staff, the staff
So
of David.
so the Ethiopians say they got it, right? Don't the Ethiopians say they got it?
Well, because whoever's got it is the leader. Because even in the Bible, whoever held it, right, whatever tribe got to hold it or guard it, became elevated or something.
Well,
So
they ain't never show it, but they got it. They say they got it. They ain't gonna never show you the motherfucker, but they damn sure say they got it. Ethiopia said they got it. Somebody else said they got it too. So who else said they got it? I know Ethiopia said they got it, but somebody else said they got it too. I think India or somebody, don't India say they got it too?
It's a bunch of different little claims for that one.
Yeah, they were, you know, a whole bunch of people got that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Hey man, let me apologize real quick, man. I got off the phone real quick because I have Freddie Dean on the phone, man. Yeah, because I posed him the same question. Now I got him digging.
Well,
and I was just gonna bring him in, but he got to go get his pick up his daughter and stuff. But we had a real good conversation. That's another minister that we grew up with, Gerald, Freddie Dean.
Okay.
So you know, but we just had a really good conversation too, man, and so it's interesting. We won't go there right now, but that's my dude, man. And he had some good responses, so pretty cool.
yeah, well, I'm glad. I want to hear these responses. I'm real curious because I
Yeah.
would like to know, like, I mean, like I mean, who was the first biblical character to enter Kemet?
So the question was posed was where was Noah at? What locale was Noah in?
Well, we know Noah was in Africa. We know that.
But I'm saying, yeah, we know that, right? So there's just more history to look up, you know, and dig into and say, okay, you know, that Ham was, you know, the so-called, you know, father of Egypt, and you know, so far we got to him being the first biblical character, I believe, unless can't remember if Gerald specified something different, and I don't think so.
Well,
But what the conclusion we came to on that other call was, let's look in to find out, where was, if it says anything about Noah's locale.
well, for real. I mean, I don't even really care about his local. I mean, where his locale? Where it can't be. Where you gonna? Where is he saying his locale was?
He wasn't saying. So
Well, I mean, I like to know. I would like to know where is his locale at. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't give a damn about that. I want to know who was the first biblical character to enter
Right.
into Egypt. All the
Yeah,
other,
yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
see, that's that twist. Now you want to ask me a question? No, man, hold it now.
No, then it wasn't that. It wasn't about all that. It was just sparked an interest, right? It just sparked an interest because
Yeah.
as far as as far as I understand too, is it was Ham that stepped on the scene,
Ham.
sent to that land. So and like I said earlier, I did a misplacement by saying it was Abraham, and so that's how I just went to work, man, because I'm not gonna stay up here, man, and it just give misleading information and stuff. So I just sought out a perspective from people with the solid content right there in that field, right? So that's what I did. That's all I was on and off, right?
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. That's good though. That's good information.
So Gerald, you was expounding on that part about Ham being the first one to step on the scene, but I didn't glean from what you were saying if it was different from Ham, that for the first biblical character to step on Egyptian soil.
Let me just clarify something. When they dealing with this, right? Whenever they dealing with the Noah story, they're not just saying that it was the end of all the people that was prior to them, and they restarting over, right? They're also saying that these sons of Noah are different races.
Right.
You understand with that? So
yeah,
Ham is supposed to be the first black man.
right.
Shem is the first Semite. Japheth is supposed to be the first white man.
Right.
That makes sense?
Without a doubt. No doubt.
Right.
No
So
question.
when you deal into them, as they say, the genealogy, they start explaining, well, Ham was the father of Cush, also the father of Egypt, and also the father of Canaan.
And you said
And Poom.
And Punt. So we understand these is supposed to be black, or what we call African places or people. That makes sense?
That's right.
Yeah. No doubt.
So I'm explaining the other ones, they're supposed to be somewhere in Mesopotamia somewhere, right? And when they explain Japheth, that's supposed to be dealing with white people, Nordic people, or whatnot. That makes sense?
Without a doubt.
Okay, but then Noah is the father. Noah and his wife is the father of them. When she start understanding genetics, it's like, wait a minute. Noah first got to be black. It makes sense if you understand genetics. Noah
Make anything of any other race.
right.
And he
And
part
then-
of and he part of the wrong turn too. He part of them people, them ancestral relationships. He part of that shit.
Right. So
Well, not him, but I know his kids is. I don't know about him, but I know his kids is. He probably got one of his kids too. Ain't no telling. Go ahead.
well,
My
again, it's
fault. Go
telling
ahead.
you that some kind of way Noah and his wife produced whatever they was. They produced a black son, they produced a Semite son, and they produced a white son. This is what they're trying to tell you. These
He had to be
became
black there. Yeah, you're right.
these became the families and the nations of the earth. Okay? Later, then God makes a covenant with Shem's family. That's what that Eber, and then connect to Abraham and whatnot. He makes a covenant with the supposedly the Semites. That makes sense?
Right?
That's why when you talk about Judaism, and they always saying being anti-Semite, God, according to them people, according to the Bible, God in the Old Testament made a connection with the Semitic people. He made his covenant through that lineage. That's why all people who say they Hebrews are trying to claim that they Semite, or they're trying to trace back through that line, through this lineage. If you even talk to white Jews and whatnot and ask them who they connected to, they'll tell you, oh shit, I'm such and such through Jacob or through whatever. Israel, they'll holler all kinds of little crazy shit. This is their true belief. This is their worldview, connecting back to their creator. Okay? So this is the lineage of humanity. And he makes a covenant with these people. Then it's through Abraham. Calls Abraham up out of there. And through his seed, he's gonna make a covenant through his seed. And that's that story. Then later people who's supposed to be the covenants of that seed claim that we got the true word of God. We see it the right way. Our understanding it is right. All those people in the Old Testament, they didn't understand it right. Jesus came to bring a new way. This is the new way, the new life. Then the Muslims come back and later say, no, Jesus was just a prophet. He wasn't the son of God. Y'all looking at that the wrong way. And they'll pull out scriptures to show that he ain't saying it, so they play back and forth with each other. They'll recognize him, but, won't say that he's the final. They say Muhammad came and brought the final.
So it just reminds me, man, of, the battle is more over whose covenant is priority, whose covenant is the most important. The covenant that God made with the three, which one is the most important? It ain't even a battle about the God, right? It's about whose covenant was made most important, right? Which is all monkey shine anyway. You know what I mean? It's all mythological anyway. So nevertheless, so.
And they have their faith or their belief in each story.
Right.
So we can lump them all together. They don't, but they don't have wars. They'll fight each other behind it. There's all kinds of stuff that go on behind them. Them crusades that went on behind them, religious wars. And right now about Islam and that Middle East thing. That's about the Jews and the Arabs. One practice Islam, the other one practice Hebrewism. And they'll bomb each other over, kill each other. Holy wars.
Through the conversation, what I found really interesting was, in that King's List, that's when there was order. And outside of that, there's not much discussion, or at least I haven't heard much discussion about the total chaos that was in between those rules, right? That was in between those dynastic rules.
Like in the intermediate periods?
Well, you made the statement that, when dealing with the kings and the King's List, right, that was when things were more in order. They were unified, right? More unified.
No, like I say, if you look at that King's List, right? If you ever get to see, you'll name so many kings, but a lot of them you ain't never heard. They really ain't did shit.
Right.
A whole lot of them.
When you're going through the kings list, you're gonna get a bunch of different kings. It's a bunch of them. The
Right,
ones names that you hear us talking about are the only ones that really did something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
That's
that's
what
where I
that's
was
what I'm
going.
saying.
I'm glad you brought that up just to clear that for me because I was
Right.
thinking what I said and I wanted to hear what you were sharing. So thank you.
Right. You're gonna hear some of the kings' names that was listed during the intermediary periods. Nothing never got built during that time. The kings' names that we know, they built stuff. Like we know about, you first know about Norma. He united the kingdoms. Just because he united it, that's why we know Norma. It's other kings prior to Norma. When he was talking about the Scorpion King and some of that, sometimes they'll put them in Dynasty 0, which let you know it's something was happening prior to the first dynasty. They're still finding information. They're still digging up and finding our stuff.
That's the
Why people-
pre-dynastic periods. Pre-dynastic periods.
Right, exactly. But again, remember I'm telling y'all, and I'll find it and share you. It's some stuff that they had, where they had for 300 years, they already had united dynasties or united kingdoms prior to the pre-dynastic period.
That's what I was referring. That's what I was referring to.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I said at first. I said that at the pre-dynastic periods, I mean, they had a late, so when you look at the kings list, all you see is the late pre-dynastic period. They have middle, they have the middle, they have the the intermediate, the middle, the first king. You know what I mean?
Well, stop.
Like,
Do you
I
know who
mean,
did the king's list?
who?
Anybody know who did the king's list?
Who did it?
Only
Manetho did the king's list.
Manetho?
Manetho is during the time of the Greeks.
Yeah, man.
So say that again.
Manetho did this in like 300, maybe 300 BC when he did the king's list. He don't know. He going back and checking off records of all this here. Sometimes what I'm saying, even from that king's list, they got kings they done found that we know that wasn't on the king's list. That, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
But the
you
king's list
got
is
all
him.
kind of the kings list though. You got one that got 76 kings that just got it, like the one I got right now has way more. It got more than 76, but they got one that's just the kings list of Abydos that just got the 76 kings on it.
Right. Okay. So when you understand the king's list is the Greeks at this time telling Manetho to give them a history. We didn't write history like that. Okay. So that's the Greeks saying, what is the history of the Egyptians? And he go back and tell that king's list. Now, when you deal with that king's list, even with Manetho, he put some mythical kings and Heru and Amen and all of them that ruling before that. He deal with, and they say that's the pre-dynastic, but that's mythology, what he's talking about, even dealing with that period. Okay. But the record of the king's list, what he have, is from different places, like the Abydos list, the such and such list, the blank and blank list.
That's right.
And he put that all together, and he placed a history of what he found at that time, and gave us the dynasties and whatnot. Some of them dynasties have been reworked over a little bit now. Some of them it's not set in stone. That's Manetho's, but through history, they starting to correct it a little bit because we actually finding true artifacts to match what was talked about. Even when Manetho wrote about all them kings, we didn't have evidence of that shit. Them was mythical people to us. That makes sense?
That's right.
Yeah, we didn't start digging until the 1800s, 1900s, and we found them goddamn people, found them graves and found them mummies. And like, no, they were fucking real people. And then there's some more goddamn graves and people here, you know? So it's, as you say, archaeology and whatnot that's actually matching up to tell us what our history is. That King's List is some of that Manetho did is a nice little blueprint, but it still got to be, it's a claim.
Right. That's why I said in the beginning that we know that the King's List is not accurate, but I like to go off of it because it's what they go off of. And so that's why I said, okay, so that's that because we know that it's way off, man. We know that our people, man, you ain't got you ain't got no beginning date for us. But
This is
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying
right.
about the claim, though, right? Remember you said King Tut,
right,
and I said 100 years ago. That's when
right,
they first found the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Queens. Prior to that, they thought that we were all buried in the pyramids, and they wasn't finding no tombs in that.
right,
When they found that Valley of the Queens and Valley of the Kings, that's when they found King Tut and them all these when they if you just looking on the news today, they find the Egyptian shit every goddamn day if you put your attention on it.
Yeah, you can see it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, they just white people have taken over Egyptology and they hiding the remains and hiding the evidence, and they'll put it out much later. Just like some of this shit we finding out, they've been holding on that shit for 30 and 40 years.
oh yeah,
They've been did the research. They just finding out. They just telling us about it. And some of these white people is the ones that got to even verify. Some of our scholars been said it, but only Tony Browder is the actually one that's doing archaeology and digging up.
Right.
Nobody else is actually doing it, you know.
mhm,
We had Professor
Moss.
just made Runoko Rashidi. He would go around. He was cold with it, showing the people the information and and you know, put it right in your face, undeniable fact, right here. He made his transition, I say. So
he was
I
he was
dig.
everywhere.
I dig that.
Yeah, he'd be everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
he'd be
Kings, I'm gonna
everywhere.
get off, man, and get this food in me, man. And you know, it's been a day for me. So, and then this is
Yeah, I
real
gotta
good.
get out of here
And
too. I love y'all.
there again, I apologize for jetting in and out. I typically won't do that, but you know, I hit my nephew up and he came on, and then I hit dude up, and then I knew he was gonna call me back. So, I typically wouldn't jump off and on like that.
Yeah, you all good, King. Hey man, so let's close out, family, man. Hey, I just want to tell everybody, man, thanks for joining. Hit the like, subscribe, share, give us a comment. Again, we got the Sunday book children's book read coming up on Sunday. Please join, get the kids, grandkids, cousins, nieces, nephews, get them all together, man, and bring them on in. We got some really nice books, man. Nice quality books for all ages. Come on in, man. We do the book read. After the book read, kid, put your put the name in the chat. We'll put you in the raffle. We spin the wheel. And the winner get a free book mailed to you. Don't cost you nothing, man. All we need is your address, right? Hey, we just trying to spread this history, man, the black African history, and the books are about real people, real events, and doing real things. You know what I'm saying? Real kings and queens and real multi geniuses, and much more, right? Please just pay attention, family. They rewriting the history in our face. We can't let them do that. We got to keep pushing it, man. And like I said, just like and subscribe. Anthony, man, we ain't seen you so long, King. You want to close out, man?
Oh man. I'll tell you what, you go ahead and close this one out. I got Elijah here too, so he's
Okay.
trying to sleep.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
All
Anthony,
right.
I'm gonna give you a call in about 15.
Okay.
Gerald, you want to close out? You want to close out, King?
Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming, spending time, giving some sacrifice for a bill with us. You know what I'm saying? This is what we enjoy doing. Hopefully, that y'all enjoy what we're trying to put out. We're just trying to each one reach one, teach one. Nothing more, nothing less. But, you know, Black Power, Black Love, in the spirit of, you know, the ancestors for Black August, you know, Ashe, you know.
I
Keep
say,
it moving. You know what I'm saying? Ashe, keep it moving. Black Power, Black Love.
I say. Peace.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
okay. Hey, you want to close out,
Yeah, man, you hit it on the head, man, for me, man. It's about, the ancestral stuff, man. And we represent my ancestors, man. And give all this glory to this fictitious cat, man. But can't give no glory to the ancestors. And so I still pour libations, and I try to live accordingly, man. So, big ups to you guys for being on the panel. Anthony, thank you for showing up. Gerald, thank you for dropping the knowledge, man. And Anthony and Jamie, man, you're always doing that deal, man. I really, really appreciate you, man. And Gerald, I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow because I got something I need to share with you, about some of the things we talked about. So, I'm gonna put it on this platform right now. But you talked about the revolutionary, and so I'm gonna hit you up on that.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
real quick, man, Gerald. Hey, I appreciate meeting you, brother. I really do.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate anybody that has knowledge and can share it. So
Yeah. Feelings are mutual. Hope to see you again.
yeah, absolutely. Jamie, I love you, bro.
Love you too, King, man. I appreciate you coming by again, man, and
Yeah.
coming on there, man. You one of the originals, man. Appreciate you, King.
Keep inviting me. I'll
yeah,
make time.
I will, man. I ain't gonna never leave you out, man. I always send it to you. You know that.
I appreciate it.
No, he don't love me no more, man. That's what it is.
No, you're last, man. Not least. Last. Okay. You heard the saying, man. Just all you got to do is just believe it. Okay.
Get it.
Hey, I love you, Unc. I'll talk to you in a minute.
All right,
man.
man.
Hit you up off the tee, man.
All right. Hey.